hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello, and welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, everybody. Happy Friday. Thanks for making us a part of your weekend, at least the very beginning of it. A lot to get to today. We're going to get to a little football. We've got a Lions game tomorrow. I want to tell you a couple storylines I will be watching heading into preseason game number 2. In game number 1, I told you the quarterback battle didn't matter.
We do not care.
It might matter now. Might be a legitimate quarterback 2 battle going on that will be determined in a lot of ways during this preseason game that we have tomorrow. So we'll get to that in the 10 o'clock hour. We'll start here with the Detroit Lions, though. Unfortunately, suffered another injury yesterday. We already knew that it's a Friday. We already knew that Cade Mays has suffered an injury that's going to keep him out for the first couple games of the regular season, more than a couple. There's a chance he misses everything before the bye. 5 weeks to miss your starting center is not ideal, to say the least, considering that's where you spent the most of your free agency cap number. Like that's where you spent the most money, was your center, to upgrade that spot over the dead body of Graham Glasgow from last season. And now you don't have that player for the first third-ish of the season. Not good. Not good at all. What's even worse, now Sam LaPorta might miss some time again. So Sam LaPorta, the Lions are 4-5 when he does not start since he came into the league. They have an under 500 record without Sam LaPorta. Most of that happened last season. And when he got hurt last season with the back injury, the Lions went from 136 rushing yards per game to 101 rushing yards per game. That's just the impact in the blocking game for him. We all know how reliable he is. He's Mr. Move the Chains. He's Mr. Reliable. Mr. Give him a 5-yard pass and he's going to make the most of it. But earlier this week when we did the Tuesday Tower, we were talking about Sam LaPorta in some capacity. I guess I don't even remember the context behind it. I told you I am like 3 out of 10 worried about this guy's health long term, not just because he's coming back from a back injury, which is never something to just gloss over. And that's not why he could potentially miss week 1. It's a hip injury. But not only was it the back injury, it's also just his size. He's a big, giant dude who does not get knocked over very easily. You know, it does remind me a little bit of Megatron and Gronk. Those are some lofty names to compare to Sam LaPorta, but just in terms of like hey, this is a huge guy, and when he gets going full speed, knocking him off balance and getting him to go to the ground is one of the harder tasks in the NFL. Now, he's not going to make you miss inside of a box like some of the best running backs in the league, but he's going to run you over. And once he gets to full speed, man, there's no stopping him unless you are truly just throwing your body weight at him. So it leads to a lot of big-time collisions, a lot of hits below the waist, just trying to take his legs out from underneath him. Not in a dirty way, but it's the only way to bring him down. Same way that it was with Gronk. Same way that it was with Calvin Johnson. So when you're taking these massive hits over and over, and more importantly, you're colliding with the ground as hard as you are, it leads to an injury concern long-term, and that's kind of where I am with Sam LaPorta. I love the guy. I think he is Mr. Reliable. He's Goff's second favorite target outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I told you I was 3 out of 10 worried about his ability to stay healthy. This might get bumped up to a 5. We haven't even made it through training camp yet, and he's already got some hip injury that he's dealing with that could keep him out of week 1. Dan Campbell left that up in the air. Still TBD whether or not he's going to be. But he's not practicing right now. So this is yet another Lion who is up against it with an injury who could potentially be missing week 1. Not good. Not a good start to training camp. It could be worse. Somebody could be out for the season. That's not the case with Cade Mays. That's not the case with Sam LaPorta. But another guy thrown into the mix of, yep, add him to the list of guys who might not be available week 1. Not the best news to hear yesterday from the Dan Campbell press conference. Happy Friday, Kyle.
Yeah, not ideal. This is just describing how the Lions season went the last couple of years. The number one complaint that we had by the end of the season was that the injuries, what if this team didn't get injured? What if this or that happened? And as you mentioned, last season we described specifically the Sam LaPorta injury as the time of the year where it felt like that's where the Lions season started to go off the rails. And we didn't really recognize it until it was a bit too far gone. But it was able to be recognized at least at some point. And so to have this Sam LaPorta injury, obviously we don't know if this is going to be something. Like, he could still just play week 1. They're hopeful about it. Like, this could just blow over. It still doesn't help the case of, like, why was Sam LaPorta a guy that wasn't paid this offseason? I know there's still some time left that it could happen. I certainly don't think it will happen now. But
no, I think there's pretty clear evidence that Sam LaPorta will not get paid throughout this season.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, we had the JMO extension happen right before the season started last year. An extension could happen right before the year starts. I certainly don't think it's going to happen with LaPorta now, though. And there's a reason why him and Branch were the two guys that did kind of get left behind here. It's not because they're bad players. It's because of the injury stuff. The LaPorta injury stuff certainly, like, I'm surprised.
Starting to stack up.
Surprised your worried meter's not a little higher.
A 5 out of 10 in terms of his long-term career?
I thought you said 4 of 10.
I'm bumping it up to a 5.
Yeah, I was saying, I think
it
should be at least a 5. I mean, this is now, he's had the nagging back injury, so this is the hip is obviously separate, but still, like,
he screwed his knee up his rookie season, and then he caught a touchdown on the broken knee in the playoffs. But, like, still, there's some real wear and tear on this guy's body through 3 years of playing in the NFL. Now,
and we
heading
know
into
the way
year 4,
he plays.
there's already another injury stacking up on top of it. He's kind of got the Anthony Davis stink to him a little bit, where anytime this guy falls down to the ground, you're kind of holding your breath like, is he going to get up? Is he going to get up? And it's totally different sports, but, like, same vibe in terms of, it's not like these guys are just made of glass, but the way that they fall down, it's scary just because these are such giant dudes, whether it's Anthony Davis or Sam LaPorta, that all these collisions over and over again, I mean, it has to wear and tear on you. I mean, that's why Calvin Johnson retired early, right? The constant collisions, the DBs throwing themselves at him in order to slow him down, and then another guy comes in to actually bring him down, and then the worst of the collisions are with the ground. Like, that's kind of what Sam LaPorta's going through right now, it feels like, and he's only through 3 seasons. I'm for sure like 5 out of 10 concerned about this guy's ability to stay healthy through the course of 18 games. Of course I am. Like, he couldn't even stay healthy his rookie season. And then he stayed healthy his sophomore year. Last year, obviously, ends up done for the season with a back injury. Like, this would be a pretty significant loss if the Lions just didn't have one of their safety valves and someone who also brings some explosive plays to the table as well. Because when Sam LaPorta's rocking, he's rocking. There's not like big-time Sam LaPorta games usually. Maybe you get one of those a year. But it's not like he explodes the way that Amon-Ra explodes. Oh, it was an Amon-Ra game. He had a hat trick or 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. Oh, it was a JMO game. He had 2 touchdowns, 100 yards. Sam LaPorta's not really having those type of games where, like, all of a sudden in fantasy he's got 28 points. But he is consistent, man. He is the number one guy other than St. Brown, where it's like, man, I really hope we've got him on the field on 3rd and 5. Get him a target, and I know we're moving the chains.
Yeah, and he just does it all. And I think that, a topic that we talked about yesterday, Lions position units, ranking their units, whatever you wanted to call it, you had the weapons number 1. And a big reason of that is Sam LaPorta. You take Sam LaPorta out of the equation, all of a sudden you're looking around like, Tyler Conklin has dealt with injury throughout preseason as well. So you've got Brock Wright and friends right now in the tight end room if Sam LaPorta does miss some time. This is, I don't know. When you think of ways the Lions season could have started, this is a 2 out of 10 way. This is brutal. Cade Mays and Sam LaPorta, 2 guys that...
2 starters.
I mean, 2 names that are in at least the top 10 of names I would not want to hear. Oh, this guy is injured preseason. Well, Sam LaPorta dealt with injury last year, was quite excited for him to come back. Now we don't know. And then Cade Mays, the guy who, like you said, was replacing Graham Glasgow and whoever the hell else was playing center for the Lions at some point, and was their biggest free agency acquisition. Like, those 2 guys dealing with injury before the season has even started, it does not get much worse than that outside of one Jared Goff.
Yeah, fingers crossed that Sam LaPorta can play week one. That 4-5 record without Sam LaPorta, I don't think is something to just gloss over. He's missed 9 games in his career, and the Lions are under 500 without him. And you saw how 36-yard rushing difference, yards per game from the Lions ground game without Sam LaPorta. That's an enormous difference, So, J-Mo's fantasy numbers will go up. Is it overall good for the team? Absolutely not. This is one of the more impactful losses that you could have had on offense. I'd even throw I would say losing Sam LaPorta is more important than losing J-Mo, to be honest.
Yeah, it totally is.
This is kind of Goff's guy. He's the safety valve who brings some explosiveness as well. I was pretty petrified when I heard that yesterday. Again, it's not like it's a guarantee he's going to be missing week one, the way that Cade Mays is for sure going to miss the first few weeks of the season. But LaPorta's ability to stay healthy, I'm going to be honest with you, Kyle. I just don't know if he's going to get a contract extension at this point. Do you really have confidence that not just long-term, that Sam LaPorta can stay healthy through just this season? If the back thing still is, in existence, and now this hip injury has popped up before the year has even started, is Sam LaPorta going to be able to survive 18 weeks? I have no idea.
It's hard to at least believe that.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful of it. I'd love for that to happen. We have seen it, so that's important. It's not like he's never put together a healthy season. Tight end is a position that guys get notoriously injured at anyways. This isn't super out of the ordinary. But as far as that pertaining to whether or not he's going to get a contract, we still will do the take of I'm not going to say no until there is a no, until Brad Holmes proves he can't do it. He might not have to prove anything here, though. It might just be something that they're willing to pass on if the injuries continue to stack up.
Yeah, especially if there's another team out there that's like, oh, we're willing to make Sam LaPorta one of the 7 highest paid tight ends in the NFL. It's like, okay. He's got the talent, but he's got to prove that he can be on the field. And missing 9 games through 3 seasons, it's not like that's an astronomically high number, but it's not nothing. 9 games in 3 years, 6 of your games, that's not nothing. And most of it was just last season. But these injuries start to stack up, and as you get into your mid-20s, LaPorta's 25, every year that goes by, it just becomes harder and harder to put together a full season. Your body's not able to bounce back the same way. So there are some concerns. The Lions are going to lose another starter. Here's my question. Are injuries the biggest threat to the Lions going into this season? Because I think if you asked and surveyed 100 Lions fans, 1,000 Lions fans, hey, why have the Lions not been able to get over the hump the last 3 years over this stretch? I feel like most people would just say injuries, and it's pretty easy to make that excuse. I don't even think it's an excuse. It's just factually things that have happened in history. You look back at the past 3 years, and it's the Lions just were decimated by the end of the season, whether it's Kindle Vildor playing starting corner in the 2023 NFC Championship game, whether it's Carlton Davis and Amik Robertson and Aiden Hutchinson and Ali McNeil all being hurt in the divisional game against the Commanders. There just have been a tremendous amount of injuries that have piled up over the past 2 seasons. And if you want to make the case that that's the biggest reason that they haven't gotten over the hump, I honestly don't think it's that crazy. I don't think it is an excuse as much of it is it's just a reason. It's something that's happened. So heading into this season where the stars are aligning and you in theory think this offensive line is going to be better, and you have this cupcake of a schedule, the number one strength of schedule in the NFL in terms of how easy it is the number one threat to the Lions injuries? Or is it some external factor? 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. The show is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Protect your home with Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, siding looking tired, Bresky has you covered. Locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
So if I throw out Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams on the Bears, if I throw out the big, scary Los Angeles Rams with Myles Garrett and Aaron Donald and Matt Stafford and Puka Nacua, I'll throw out the Packers as well, this surging Vikings team. Considering all those things, are the Lions' injuries still just the biggest threat to this team? Because I think if you ask most Lions fans, they would just say yes. Because there's like 3 years of evidence now that this team just can't really stay healthy. And I'm not going to do the thing where I blame it on the way that they practice. It's Dan Campbell's fault. They go too hard in practice. I don't really think that's the case at all. It's not like these injuries are popping up in like devastating ways in practice. It's just football. It's the nature of the game. Yet I can't really put my finger on what it is and why the Lions seem to have more injuries than everybody else 3 straight years. And it's not just like, oh, it feels like that. There's a bunch of evidence to back that up, that the Lions have had more injury luck, bad injury luck, than anybody else over the past 3 years. It's bananas, and I can't quite figure out why, even though I don't think it's the Dan Campbell practices too hard. I think that's kind of just the default. I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to say that. I also see some people like blame the Lions training staff, and I'm like, I'm not smart enough to know if they're doing a good enough job or not, so I'll just back out of that conversation. But I do think there's a lot of people that are just convinced this team can't stay healthy, and that's the number one reason that they haven't gotten over the hump, and it's the number one reason that they will not get over the hump this year as well.
Yeah.
Kind of a loser mindset, but also I just don't know what to tell those people, because they just have a lot of evidence that they're right.
But if you're looking at, what was the Lions' biggest threat the last couple of seasons? 2 years ago, I would say it was injuries. The year you lose to the Commanders, I would think that injuries was probably their biggest threat, because as far as the other teams that were in the NFC, yeah, you could say the Eagles were their other biggest threat. I guess that's fair to say that.
Yeah.
They didn't even have a chance to get to them, though, because the injuries were a main reason they lost to the Commanders, right? I think that's pretty fair to say that.
Yeah, they were missing 5 starters.
Yeah,
by the end
they
of
had
it.
piled up to that point, and their defense was so depleted they couldn't stop Jaden Daniels. So I would
5.
say that year, I know I was going to say 5, but like that doesn't feel right. It's just, yeah, whatever. Anyways, last year, it certainly wasn't injuries. I don't. Maybe your biggest threat was yourself. Your biggest threat was Graham Glasgow.
And Taylor Decker.
Yeah, your biggest threat was the offensive line of your own team. And so every other team in the NFC was your biggest threat. All the good teams on your schedule. Like the Lions were kind of a joke compared to them. And so coming into this season, before the Cade Mays injury, before the Sam LaPorta injury, I would have said, yeah, the Lions' biggest threat this season is probably the Rams.
Yep.
And probably just pick one of your teams in the NFC North, but we all feel pretty confident that they can get back to the top of the division. So I don't think that like the Bears or Packers are the biggest threat to the Lions. Maybe Green Bay just because they swept you last year. The issue is Ben Johnson and the Bears, Green Bay, Micah Parsons, Matt Stafford, Puka, all those guys you mentioned, they're not a threat to you right now. And injuries are. Like, the season hasn't even started yet. None of those teams can be threatening to the Lions currently, yet injuries can be. And they're affecting the team at a pretty massive rate right now, I would say, with 2 starters and 2 key starters out. And we don't know how long the LaPorta thing's going to be, but still. You add in the fact that Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are already injured.
Yeah, I keep saying 2 starters. It's really
like
4.
It's just 2 new starters that have happened, throughout training camp and preseason. It really is 4, and those are 4 major players on this team. Like, 3 of the 4 of those guys are blue-chip players.
Yep.
And Cade Mays, by the way, was your biggest acquisition in free agency.
Yeah, he's not a blue chipper, but he's a green chipper.
He's quite important. Yeah, like, he has a huge impact on the team. So, 4 just very impactful players going to be out for this Lions team to start the year. I know we feel good about the schedule. I know we feel good about this and that. But when you have that going into the season, it makes me think, what is this going to look like in week 7? When it's already this depleted with injury, what's it going to look like when naturally injuries happen throughout a football season because, it's football?
It's just a matter of who are they going to happen to.
I'm pretty terrified. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty terrified.
It's a matter of who, because they're already at the point, and luckily, of the 4 starters that are hurt, 3 of them are coming back at some point, right? And then you hope that Kirby Joseph also can come back at some point. But that feels a lot like hope more than like a strategy to get him back at this point.
It doesn't make you feel good about LaPorta, though. I mean, like,
No,
yeah, we
not at
say,
all.
like, oh, yeah, LaPorta's going to come back at some point. Of course he is. But how long is he going to come back for before something else happens?
I know.
Brian Branch, how is he going to look coming back from the serious injury?
Yeah, is it going to be Brian Branch or is it going to be Deion Branch that comes back?
Cade Mays, we still have isn't yeah, Deion Branch, that's a good one. Cade Mays, we still haven't even seen play in a Lions uniform yet.
Mm-hmm.
Big league hit by Deion Branch.
And here's the other thing, too, with the Cade Mays thing specifically. Unlike if you just, I guess receiver's not a great example either. You can bring in a running back, and they're just going to be good right away. You know, like, there's not a lot of, like, oh, I got to learn the scheme and understand things. Like, there's a little bit of that at any position, but at the end of the day, your job as a running back is to get down the field. You know, it's not that complicated. Offensive line, it takes a while to gel. Like, you have to play together to be able to pass guys off and communicate, whether it's verbally or just kind of with instincts. To not have your starting center, who is supposed to be the alpha communicator on the offensive line, for at minimum the first 4 weeks of the season, and realistically it's probably going to be the first 5, that's not good. And then to insert him into the starting lineup.
Wait, that's not good?
Then to insert him into the starting lineup and have a new, like, communicator up front from whoever it is for the first 5 weeks, probably Drew Scruggs. Now to have him replace that while he's missed a ton of time and hasn't played with these guys in general.
Yeah, he's already the new guy. And, what if he's just not very good coming off of the injury? Like, we still have never even seen him play. I know that we all have the assumption, and I think it is a fair one, that he's going to be better than whatever the Lions had playing that position last year.
Yeah, a dead guy. They had a dead guy playing that position last year.
Well, right now he is dead because he's not playing.
Graham Glasgow on a team?
No.
Like, for sure, no?
No. I think he might have called it a career.
He retired?
I
don't think he retired. I think he's just like...
Maybe he'll just, like, sign with a team in the middle of the year kind of thing.
Yeah, he's just not on a team.
Yeah, no
And
way.
I don't blame him. You pull up his numbers.
Taylor Decker's not either, man.
Yeah, Taylor Decker sucks.
How is he not on a team?
Taylor Decker? I
he
know
was
why.
Not, no,
because
no.
he sucks.
He was not. He's not free agency bad.
Taylor Decker?
He's.
Do we need to pull up his numbers last year?
He's roster worthy.
That whole situation
certainly should
how that
be
went
on
down.
a roster, right?
Yeah, but you also have to understand if you're going to bring Taylor Decker in and you're like, no, you're our third tackle. He's like, third tackle? What?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm the starting left tackle for the Detroit Lions, last I checked. I'm not taking any reserve job. That's what he would tell you. He was difficult. Like, he was just kind of a diva. There's not a ton of diva offensive linemen. That guy was a diva during the negotiation process of trying to get him back on the Lions. I might retire. I might not. Okay, I'm not going to retire. I want to play again. All right, are you willing to take less money? Less money? Are you serious? Yeah, you were, like, really bad last season. I'm not taking less money. Okay, see ya. Have fun watching Red Zone on Sunday, just like the rest of us. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Show, as always, is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. The 9 o'clock hour is brought to you by Iron Stack Technology. You know, we talk about the game plan all the time on this show, the execution of it. That's how Iron Stack approaches IT. They help businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next so you can focus on your mission instead of your tech. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. Check them out online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Siding and building repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, just to put a bow in the last segment, do you want to guess where Taylor Decker ranked amongst offensive linemen last year?
Oh, we're still doing the Taylor Decker thing.
Just guess. Just guess where his offensive grade ranked amongst you know what?
All offensive linemen?
All offensive linemen.
So what?
With at least 20% of 1,300 snaps.
So there's what, like 160 offensive linemen somewhere in there?
There's 200 qualified.
Right, because there was some bench guys. I was thinking of starters. Probably like in the 120 range.
86th.
Okay, I was being like rude. You made it seem like he's terrible. He was a top half lineman all football last year. That sounds not bad to me.
There's only 60 spots, and he ranked 86. Not a starter.
You just said 200.
I know, but there's like 60 starters. If you're outside of the top 60.
You just said of all offensive linemen. There's more than 60 starting offensive linemen in football.
Correct. I thought I was doing tackles. Okay, guess amongst tackles.
I don't know.
43. Maybe he is a starter.
Did you prove your point?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on anymore.
Let's do the news.
The Mets Morning Catch.
Breaking news. We actually have Taylor Decker breaking news. He's calling into the show right now.
Come
go
get
at
some.
Ben. Come get. Is it because he went to Ohio State?
That's only like part of it.
You know, a guy has one bad year, and Ben just forgets all the good years. You know, same thing. He hated Frank Ragnow.
I didn't hate Frank
Taylor
Ragnow.
Decker.
He never had a bad season.
You certainly went at Frank Ragnow pretty hard.
Because I thought that whole phony comeback thing was just ridiculous. It's like, oh, I want to come back.
He tried.
Your hamstring was jelly.
At least he tried.
At least he tried. Correct.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get into the news.
I just didn't get the sob fest from Taylor Decker after they lost. After they beat the Bears. Remember the sob fest he put on in the locker room? He's like, I just don't know if I can do it anymore. Like, I want to be there for my kids. I can't even throw football with them.
We're still going on Taylor Decker.
And then he tried to come back. It was like, dude, we don't even want you anymore. Through such a fuss. Your shoulder's not working. It doesn't work. You don't practice, dude. All right, I'm ready for the news.
Okay, yep. Doing a John thing here, man. It just doesn't really end. It just keeps going. Let's talk about other things other than Taylor Decker. Tim McMahon, insider for ESPN on NBA, talking on his podcast yesterday, says the negotiations between the Pistons and Jalen Duren have been, quote, awfully nasty.
Oh, boy.
Awfully nasty. Awfully nasty.
Awfully
Ooh,
nasty.
Man.
That sounds like a rap line. She was awfully nasty.
That sounds like when I cross somebody up at in the gym. They're like, that move was awfully nasty.
Oh, by the way, if you're joining the Midland Community Center Rec League, we have the ultimate trash talk card on you this upcoming fall and winter. It's it's going to be so nasty.
I haven't seen that yet. Yeah, I'm excited to go see that.
Do not
That's
try
new?
to
That's new as of yesterday?
I saw it yesterday. There was a Ben Bosscher show sign with you and I's face
When
on
did
it.
that happen?
I have no idea. I
They
figured
made
Brad
me
and
taller in
Sarah,
it, too. They made me taller in it.
I figured Brad and Sarah would let us know that was going up at some point, and I just looked up. I was like, hey, that's our face. That's my face and Kyle's face.
That's pretty awesome.
Hanging overneath the basketball part of the gym. I can't wait, dude. Score a bucket on someone, point to it.
Yeah, I'm just going to point at it all game.
My gym.
Anyways,
can't wait.
Awfully nasty is how Tim McMahon describes the negotiations between the Pistons and Jalen Duren. And there is concern about his long-term future in Detroit. He says, quote, sometimes these negotiations, when they are ugly like this, they can have long-lasting consequences. I think this does mean something coming from Tim McMahon. He has a lot of, he's a trustworthy source. Definitely has a lot of relationships within front offices across the league. So
for as few trustworthy sources as there are in NBA media coverage like this, Tim McMahon's for sure.
Yeah, him and Windhorst do that podcast together. So this is a little bit concerning because now that Peyton Watson, we talked about this in the news a couple days ago, that he was one of these qualifying offer potential guys that has now been moved. There is zero holdup for Duren to not sign his extension right now. You know, they have until the October 1st deadline to either take the qualifying offer or agree to a new contract. This also is holding up Asar Thompson's potential rookie extension, those are going to start to happen over the next month or so.
Yep.
There's just no reason for this not to happen at this point, other than if Duren is actually going to take the qualifying offer. It's gotten to a point where there's really no reason to sit and wait around any longer. So, I don't know. I think that's a bit concerning.
Dog, what other team is paying you what you want? Clearly none of them. So what's the holdup, dude? What is the holdup to sign this contract? You think you're worth way more? The Pistons don't think you're worth that much. They basically let you go and say, hey, go figure it out with Sacramento or Boston or whoever else you want to have a meeting with. None of those teams wanted to pay you that much money either. So if you think you're worth that much and there's 30 NBA teams telling you you're not, take the hint, dude.
I think that they just realized they screwed up and they're just in too deep. I don't know.
So what's the alternative?
Taking the qualifying offer.
It's insane.
I still don't think it's going to happen.
It's like $9 million, right? He's just losing out on.
Yeah, he'll make $9 million this year.
$25-30 million, somewhere in that range. He's just
kind of
losing
for
out
no
on
reason.
It.
Yeah.
And he's not signed long term, which just means he's losing out on a ton of future money if he gets hurt.
And taking that huge risk going into the season. Yep. So we'll see. This Duren situation continues to linger. No real updates on it, but that's something there from Tim McMahon. Covenant Healthcare, Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine injury report. Pretty obvious one today. Sam LaPorta, hip injury. His status is uncertain for the Lions season opener. This happened right after the show yesterday, too, which was pretty unfortunate. Tigers-Royals tonight, 8:10. Troy Melton versus Noah Cameron, the left-hander for the Kansas City Royals. Excited to get this series kicked off, especially with a little Friday night Troy Melton action. It's Melton bump day. He got a little bit touched up by the White Sox in the last start. Definitely wasn't like a bad start by any means, but it wasn't the typical, 6 or 7 inning scoreless we get from Troy Melton.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can bounce back to that tonight. Tigers, we deemed it. This is not a must-win game. This is a
series.
This is a must-sweep. It's the
I
first
won't go that
ever
far.
must-sweep.
I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah, that's actually fair.
Because if who is it after Kansas City? Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Goes Kansas City, Tampa Bay, LA, Dodgers.
Sheesh.
Of those 9 games, I'm just going to say you got to win 6 of them. You can do it however you need to do it. Just win 6 of them.
That'd be awesome. So excited for Melton to be on the mound tonight. We'll do one more thing here in the news. We'll save all the rest for later. Actually, 2 more things. I lied. Michigan State former center, forward, whatever you want to call him, Jackson Kohler, he is back in college basketball, and he has committed to BYU after playing for the Utah Jazz in the Summer League. It was heavily rumored that if he was going to come back, BYU was going to be the team, and it has already happened. So Jackson Kohler will be back in college basketball. It's going to be tough for the Spartan fans to see him in another uni, but it will be for the Cougars in BYU.
Yeah.
He's also from Utah as well.
But he averaged 4 points per game in Summer League and said, this is not for me.
I mean, I don't think he was ever going to be an NBA player. I don't think anyone ever really thought that.
I just don't think if you suit up in an NBA game or an NFL practice squad, whatever it ends up being, you should be allowed to go play college sports again.
Well, this was also, yeah, but they did all those things knowing that this 5th-year thing was going to come back. I understand, I get what you're saying.
I'm not mad at Jackson Kohler.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
What are we doing right now?
If they would have known a 5th year was an option for them to come back, I assume a lot of those guys wouldn't have gone to Summer League, you know? But I guess the rules doesn't matter because you still can do either. So
they could flip this ruling and say that they don't actually it's just these kids get whatever they want. If you just think of something that you want in college athletics and the NCAA's on the other side of you, you're just gonna win if you hire the right lawyer. Oh, I want to play 8 years. The NCAA will say no. Sue them, and they will probably lose.
Yeah, even with this new ruling, who knows? There's going to be ways for guys to have a loophole about it. We'll close here. Last night, we had a couple of NFL preseason games, including the first overall pick, Fernando Mendoza, getting the entire first half for the LV Raiders. Yeah, he went 8 of 15 for 86 yards and an interception on his 5 drives in the first half. And then after the game, Clint Kubiak was asked, all right, who's going to start week 1? We're getting close. Most teams we know who's starting week 1. He says, no, we got another week. I'm not announcing who the starter is yet, a.k.a. Mendoza clearly has not done enough to earn that spot over Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I don't think he has. He didn't look good yesterday. I turned this game on. I was so stupid. I'd said the Fever versus the Dream was the game of the day.
The Wings.
8 o'clock rolled around. I threw on the preseason game. I'm so dumb for even thinking I wasn't going to do anything else. I was excited to watch Mendoza. He did not look all that good. He didn't look comfortable in the pocket. None of his passes were precisely hitting dudes where their hands are. Nobody was getting hit in stride. Stroud looked pretty good though in his one drive.
Stride.
Yeah, I kind of combined those words there. Yeah, it didn't look good for Fernando Mendoza. So I don't think it's all that crazy that Kirk Cousins is going to be the starter here. I just thought it was weird how early they shut it down that Mendoza could be the starter.
I was very surprised by that. And I've seen people have this take. One, I understand it's preseason. We shouldn't take that much into it. I get that. I agree with people there. But I see people saying,
I'd rather my guy look good than terrible.
Because Aiden O'Connell came in and was pretty good for the Raiders. And everybody is
that I don't care about because he's been in the league for so long.
See, but I don't care about that because people are like, oh, of course Aiden O'Connell was better. He's now a veteran at this point. He's been a backup and played for quite some time in the NFL. He should look better. Mendoza was the first pick, man. What are we talking about? He should be better. Mendoza was the first overall pick in the draft.
But you got to remember,
he should be better.
Mendoza's not this bulletproof prospect, even though Colin Cowherd talks about him like that all the time. That doesn't
mean anything.
Was the Heisman.
It doesn't mean anything.
You don't care about that.
The quarterback was the Heisman, Ben. I could care less if the
Johnny Manziel won a Heisman.
Two-way player was the Heisman.
Johnny Manziel was a Heisman. I think there's a difference between excellence in college and then being a great pro. Fernando Mendoza, yes, he went 1.01. Yes, he won the Heisman. If Fernando Mendoza
his team went undefeated and they won the national championship.
And he has the best coach in college football, all those things can be true. If he was just dropped into the 2024 draft class, I think he's like the 5th quarterback taken.
Sure, but I just think the expectation is being held. For some reason, there isn't expectation on Mendoza, and I just don't understand that.
There isn't expectation on him?
Like everyone is
maybe because he plays for
everyone
Vegas?
is giving him the pass, as if like all these other rookie quarterbacks the last several years, they come in and we're like, we expect them to be good right away. For some reason, they don't have that with Mendoza, and I don't understand that.
Because he's a non-controversial white guy, probably? Like he just doesn't say anything wrong. He's like Mr. AI, Mr. Media. Probably because he hasn't pissed anybody off yet. That'd be my guess as to why.
Sure, I mean, he's likable.
He is likable.
I just don't understand it. It's like the last time we had a guy that was the Heisman first overall pick, national championship quarterback, older guy as well, was Joe Burrow.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow was cool.
Mendoza's not cool?
I don't think
Mendoza's
Mendoza's
people like
cool.
Mendoza.
I think people like him a lot. I don't think that makes him cool.
I don't get why everyone is like, oh, we're willing to take our time with Mendoza. If he's not good right away, it's fine. Why wasn't it like that with Cam Ward? Why wasn't it like that with Kyler Murray? I'm just throwing out other first overall picks.
I think the reason it's like that with Mendoza is because people really do believe his head is screwed on the right way, and he's willing to put in the work and show up every
other
single
guy
day.
Didn't have those traits?
No, I think a lot of them. Well, I don't think Kyler did, but I think Cam Ward did. Like, there's not any like, oh, Cam Ward's about to lose his job. That's not a thing. Like, everyone's still giving Cam Ward a ton of time. Cam Ward was the least talked about 1.01 pick
People made fun of Cam Ward all year last year.
And people will do the same thing for Mendoza if he's playing bad. But you got to, like, a year ago, Cam Ward might have been the least talked about first overall pick ever. Because Shedeur Sanders existed. Kyler, I think, like, didn't do himself any favors by being like.
No, Kyler's a bad example.
Yeah, I don't know. I think once he starts playing, he'll be under a microscope a little bit more. But we just need real football back, man. What are we even talking about right now?
Good point.
Tarek Skubal set to start versus the Tigers next Saturday. Do we think he's going to get booed? That's when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show, live here on 100.9 The Mitt. We're going to talk about best fantasy football league punishments here, too, on a Friday. Excited about that. It's Ben Bosscher Show here on The Mitt. Show brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. 11 o'clock hour. That's later. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Iron Stack Technology. But nothing pairs better with game day than an ice cold Yingling. Whether you're locked in for kickoff, tip-off, or the final inning, it's got that crisp, smooth taste that just hits right. Kind of like your team when they're firing on all cylinders. It's one of those game day staples. You've got the crew, the TV's up loud, and something cold is in your hand, so you are all set. Another round of Yingling, and now it really does feel like game day.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mid. Let's keep going. Scooble is back in town. The official date is set next Saturday. Guess what? We're giving away tickets to that next Wednesday, thanks to Garber Chevrolet and Big Win Wednesday. Do you expect him to get booed when he takes the mound?
1,000%.
Really? 1,000%, no matter the circumstance? See, I think
they're going to play a good tribute video for him, and they'll try to, spice it up to make it seem like, oh, this is this big heartwarming thing. He's 100% getting booed.
Really? Okay,
like,
so
no doubt.
Here's my stance on it. If the Tigers are still in a playoff race, pretty good chance he gets booed. If the Tigers, suck for the next 6 games and, they lose a series to Kansas City and they just lost a series to Tampa and the season basically becomes over by the time next Saturday rolls around, I don't think he's getting booed. I think fans are going to miss him. If the season's already over, I don't think they're going to boo him.
The season will not be over in a week.
I mean, if they lose both of these series before the Dodgers.
I mean, if they lost every single game, sure, I guess the season would be over. But I think he gets booed literally no matter what.
Really?
No matter what. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess I understand what you're saying. He would be missed a little bit, like, oh man, they shouldn't have traded him away. But it's not what is Tarek Skubal then going to stop the 6-game losing streak if they go into that game on one? Was he going to end all of that if they still had him? I think the way that he went out, and there's some fans that think that he's going to come back to Detroit still, so maybe those people will not boo him. if Matt Stafford got booed, Tarek Skubel's certainly getting booed. That's all I'm saying. Like, that was
Yeah, but it's Tarek Skubel's wife going at the city prior.
Yes, exactly. That was like the final one of like, okay, yeah, everybody's getting booed. Everybody's getting booed on their return, at least the superstar players. You know, the fun guys that, like Jake Rogers wasn't getting booed, you know?
No.
That's different. He was a fun, fan favorite type of guy.
Jake Rogers, they probably announced him as the starting catcher for the White Sox, and fans were like, huh? How do you end up here?
Well, yeah, they did a huge ovation for him when he was the starting catcher in that game, which is he just played on 4 teams in the last 2 weeks.
I know,
it's crazy.
I had no idea he got picked up by the White Sox until I saw his face on
Seriously?
my TV. I was like, what? I was like, I thought he was on the Red Sox and then the Orioles or vice versa. I was like, how do you end up here? I must have just missed that one.
Yeah, I think he is absolutely getting booed. There will be a mix. You know, there's always a mix. Some people are going to be like, oh,
come on, don't boo him. He did so much.
I'll tell you what, if I was there, I don't know what I would do. This is the question that I always think about. Like when you say, will he get booed? What would I do? Am I going to join the group mentality and just kind of do whatever everybody else is doing?
I think it's
do
different
I
when you're there.
personally, exactly. Like personally in my head, I think I would boo him.
Really?
But then if I am there and I'm seeing him, I'm like, man, this is kind of special.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think he's getting booed.
I don't know if I would if I was actually there. I might boo him on the TV.
Yeah, it's way easier to do from your couch. I think he's getting a standing ovation. That would be my guess.
I think he is too, but I think he receives more boos by the end of the night. Okay, you know what will happen though?
What?
If Skubal pitches like an ace type of outing, you go 7 scoreless, whatever. Maybe actually
He goes
throws
115 pitches.
Yeah. Strikes out 10. Like if he does go off, he will get a standing ovation when he leaves the mound.
For sure. I can't imagine Dave Roberts just being like, you're going 120 tonight. You're going 8 innings no matter what. You're just destroying this team. 15 strikeouts, it doesn't matter. Oh, that's going to be wicked. I really do think he gets cheered.
Yeah, I
think he gets a warm welcome.
A lot of people think he's going to cheer. Pizza Man and Gary in our YouTube chat both think that they will cheer.
It's a week away.
I don't. I think he gets booed. He did not go out smoothly, man. He just didn't. And guys that don't go out smooth, the Detroit fans do not welcome those guys back in with open arms.
No, it's a nasty fan base. You know what else I've noticed here too before we go to break? This entire Skubal last 2 years, really this year specifically, what they should or should not have done at the deadline. I don't think I've ever seen a fan base disagree more. Usually there is a consensus coming out of Lions games. Oh, yeah, this guy didn't play well. Blah, blah, blah. He should have done this. Why didn't Dan Campbell do this? I don't think I've ever seen
ref screwed us.
Ref screwed us. I don't think I've ever seen a fan base more, ununified, unaligned than the Tigers fan base. Nobody has the same opinion. It's great, but also, kind of crazy. 989-837-6125. This is Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.
This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
All right, welcome back into the show, everybody. You know, right here is where we planned on doing what to look for in the preseason game. It's a Friday. I'm throwing that out the window. I want to talk about the best fantasy football punishments because we were talking pre-show. I mean, this is a conversation that you and your buddies have all the time if you're listening to this. It's a conversation all of us have had at one point. So let's try to bring in an audience as well. YouTube chat. We've got the Mint messages as well, 989-837-6125, because I have seen some hilarious ones as of late of people gearing up towards fantasy football season, trying to determine what the punishment is, because you should probably do that prior to your season starting. And it turns out a lot of people wait to do their punishment until right about now, right before the season starts, rather than right when the season ends. There are some classic ones in there. The IHOP challenge, you all know about that one. The weird one the last couple of years of the loser has to get in like a dog cage and you just like basically dehumanize them. That one's just kind of weird to me. I'm not really a big fan of that one. You know, the best.
Wait, the dog cage one?
I don't like that one.
Well, explain it.
You put a human in a dog cage and you just like do.
Each person brings something to throw onto them, right?
Yeah, it's
just
weird.
Really weird.
I wouldn't take pleasure in that if I was one of the other people at all.
Yeah, like I don't think I would enjoy watching that.
No, it's bizarre. The IHOP one is classic, but like again, if I'm the other guy, I don't really enjoy I don't get to enjoy any of that. So I've seen some amazing ones. I think the best ones are ones that don't inflict any harm, minimal money, not even less about humiliation.
I think you got to break this
so
down first here. There's different types of fantasy football punishments, and it all depends on what type of league you're in.
Yeah.
There's the physical punishments. There are physical ones, you know, that involve like the classic, you got to run a mile, and every mile you have to drink a beer in between, or you have to eat Wendy's 4x4. Or
one of our guys 1 year lost our redraft league and had to run a 5K in an outfit of our choosing. He was dressed as a little princess and walked
That's
a 5K.
Really good punishment. Like when he had to walk it.
Well, he could have ran it, but he was wearing princess shoes, which were probably four sizes too small for him. So he finished dead last of every single person that entered that race that year.
So
there were moms in strollers with children.
That's pretty
who finished
good.
Ahead of him.
That's a good punishment. Like I think that is because there's the physical punishment, but then that one is a combination of the other type of fantasy football punishment, which is the embarrassment type of punishment.
Humiliation.
Public embarrassment, public humiliation type of punishment. You can combine them into one. There's a lot of those. I think the sitting in an IHOP for 24 hours is kind of a combination of both. That takes a toll on you physically.
But my favorite ones are like creative ones, unique ones. If you want to do the IHOP one, by all means, go for it. But like it's been done a million times. I'm looking for new innovations.
But if you haven't done it though, like I think it's good for a league to do it one time. There's also the financial punishments, and those ones are
I don't love these ones.
You have to be in a certain place in your life. These are the fly to Florida and then immediately come back. I've seen that one. I've just seen drive to X state and come back. Don't do anything.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones I've ever seen is take a picture in 4 states and come back tonight. You're not allowed to actually do anything.
Yeah.
You just have to go
That's
take a picture.
That's a really difficult one for
funny, man.
if you live in Michigan.
Yeah.
You can get to 3 states. You know, you can do Ohio, Indiana, Michigan. The 4th
you have to
state,
go to Illinois for no reason.
But if you're going to Illinois, then you got to book it all the way back over to Ohio.
Yeah, it's an all-day trip.
All day. I mean, of course it's all day.
Peeing away gas money.
Yeah, so those type of punishments are pretty bad too. I think it also really depends on who's in your league. Mm-hmm. Is this a league that you started from your day one homeboys, college friends, like guys you are super tight with, where you know any type of punishment, one, everybody's going to do it, but you also will enjoy it? Or is this a league that, I joined it, I kind of know like half the league, the other few guys I don't really know? Leagues like that, I don't even want a punishment in.
Yeah.
I don't even want one. I'm very pro punishment fantasy football league because it requires everyone to lock in all season long. if your first round pick goes down with an injury, some leagues, some guys
Sorry.
would just be like, you know what, I give up. Like, I don't really care that much. You try to make a trade with a guy, he's already given up on the season. A punishment avoids those things. So that's why I've always been pro punishment. But I think it does matter the context of your league mates. You have to be all close, I think.
Have you ever lost a league and had to do a punishment?
Never had to do a punishment.
Really?
I've lost my family league when I was a little kid, but we do not have a punishment in that league.
I lost my league one year where I took David Johnson 4th overall, and he ended up being like, I don't know, wide receiver or running back, like 49.
Sucked.
I had to eat blazing wings. When I tell you everyone wanted to come see it, I mean, we had like a table of 20. And eventually the entire restaurant was chanting, Ben, 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 as I'm trying to finish 10 blazing wings. So I was in the
Bone in or boneless?
boneless.
See, that's not as good enough punishment.
Brother,
You have to do
I
bone
promise
in.
you it was a good enough
Blazing
punishment.
wings aren't that bad, especially boneless.
Brother,
You have to do it bone in because
that was a 24-hour punishment.
If
that
it's a
that wasn't a
punishment,
10-minute
though-
punishment. That was 24 hours of hell.
Yeah, if the spice is not a great thing for you, you have to do bone in because then it gets all over your lips.
Okay, well, how about
and that burns way more.
what if I told you this? Our food came while I was in the bathroom, like giving myself a pep talk mostly.
What?
And I came back and everyone had their food, and I'm sitting at like the head of a table of like a 20-person table. I'm like, where are mine? Oh, we sent them back. What do you mean you sent them back?
To get more
They didn't have
sauce.
enough sauce on them. We needed extra
Okay, yeah.
sauce.
Okay, so your friends are
it was
jerks.
wicked,
Yeah.
dude. It was the worst 24 hours ever.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
sucks.
having basketball practice the next morning and just
What?
and like it was not good then either.
Okay. That's also a classic punishment.
Classic.
Eating hot wings. I think doing classic punishments is fine. I think we've gotten to a point where fantasy football punishments have evolved so much to that they've gotten a little too wicked, a little too crazy.
But so, like the wicked ones aren't always the best, you know?
Yeah, I
Like,
think so.
Did you see the guy who had to dress up as a caterpillar and eat all the things in the nursery book?
What?
The Hungry Hungry Caterpillar? You didn't see this? It was going It was going around on social media the last week. This guy had to dress
explain
up.
this.
There's like a nursery. I don't know if it's a nursery rhyme or just like a children's book. I think it's a children's book called The Hungry Hungry Caterpillar. And the caterpillar eats like 100 things throughout the course of the book. And this guy's wife, woke up, went downstairs, and her husband was dressed as a caterpillar, and
He had to go like find all the things.
I mean, they weren't hard to find. It was like eat an apple, eat salami, and he had like an entire like Last Supper's worth of food that he had to eat dressed up as a caterpillar, filming himself to send to the rest of his. It was
Okay,
like, that kind of
that's not
stuff
as-
is so funny to me because it's
I
harmless.
thought it was way
and it's-
worse than that. I thought you meant he had to go like search, like go eat a worm, and he had to like go out in the yard and like find it.
No.
That is funny though. Yeah, that's a. So here's
See, like,
the one.
ones that don't inflict any harm or pain or minimal cost, but are still that hysterical because they're so unique. Those are what are the best ones are to me.
I see a lot of, across a younger demographic, even younger than us, a lot of them have done you have to post a TikTok dance video like every day for a month or something like that. Those are
Classic.
pretty good. The trendy one, and I think the reason that we're talking about this has become somebody proposed this within the last week or so, and it is just being talked about by everyone. It is you have to run a 5K starting at the bar.
No, starting 5 kilometers away from the bar.
Yes. Sorry. Starting 5 kilometers away from the bar. You leave your credit card at that bar, though, and all of your friends just get to run it up until you get there.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get there. It's not something you can jog. I mean, you can jog it, but
I better be the fastest 5K
you
want to
get there pretty fast. That one, to me, I think that is the worst fantasy football punishment I've ever heard.
That's pretty bad, dude. Because like it's one thing to have a cost associated with the punishment. To have an unknown cost,
correct,
is horrifying. Because you know there's going to be one jerk in the friend group that's like, I'll have your most expensive bottle of wine, please.
You're going to have 9 jerks.
I would like 2 double Red Bull vodkas, please.
No, I think you are underestimating it. I would like the most expensive bottle of wine that you have. I'm going to take it home with me. Then I want a whole bottle of X liquor. Like, the issue is it's not like
that would be
you're at the bar for a half hour with your fantasy group, and then afterwards you realize, oh, our drinks are being paid for. That's not the situation. You know going into it that the only goal is to run it up. That's the only goal of that. It would be mean. I would not even want to take part in that.
No,
like
I wouldn't. I would order like a beer or
That
two.
is a brutal punishment because there will be the jerks of the group that will totally abuse it, which that's the point of it, I guess. But yeah, I would.
You're trying to like do,
I would not want to take
harm to your friend's financial life.
The only way that I would do that punishment is if you're in a league of just like it's Mark Walter and it's Bob Iger.
Mark Walter does not have the money to do this right now, by the way.
That's a good point. Yeah, that was the worst.
You maybe take out a loan.
The worst guy I could. Like, this is the NBA owners fantasy football league. You know, these are the rich dudes fantasy football league, the country club fantasy league. Yeah, then I would maybe do it, but not right now.
One of the funniest ones I've seen, and that's an amazing one.
It's a good idea. I could never do it.
One that I saw last year and have not been able to stop thinking about is opening up Instagram or TikTok Live and having to count to 20,000. It's just like 4 hours. You just waste 4 hours of your entire life counting. And I remember seeing this pop up and all of his buddies, and you can't say why you're doing it. So like imagine a guy that you kind of knew in high school or college and you haven't talked to them in a while.
Who goes live on Instagram?
Nobody. And all of a sudden you're like, wait, why is this guy live? You click in and he's just counting and you have no idea why. That to me is like one of the harmless, there's no money at stake. That is just so funny to me. Oh, waste 4 hours of your life counting to 20,000 on Instagram Live for anyone to watch.
That's a good harmless one.
That's
a good harmless one. I think that it's good to do ones like that as like your light punishment. Anything that's the super light, like, oh, I have to, I don't know. The punishment has to be a punishment. It has to be something you don't want to do. Because if it's not that bad, you're not going to care. It has to be something I'm like, wow, I really don't want to get last place.
All right, let's get to the Mint messages. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.
Caterpillar, man.
Dude, I'll send you this video during the break. It is so funny. 989-837-6125. Best fantasy football punishments you've ever been a part of. 10 o'clock hour brought to you by Aired Insurance. They understand not everyone's insurance needs are the same. They want to put you in a better insurance position, whether it's your home, life, auto, or business coverage. They make sure your protection actually fits your life. If you're looking for the team that takes the guesswork out of insurance, this is it. Be sure to go follow Aired Insurance Group on social media to stay connected and see how they're helping people every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Oh, there are some great fantasy punishments out there. So I looked up the caterpillar video and sent it to Kyle. I didn't realize how much food he had to eat. It was like an apple, a pear, a whole stick of like salami, not like a whole tube of salami, basically. Cake, suckers, ice cream, like just stuff that would pickles, stuff that would just wreck your stomach altogether. It's a good one, man. It's a good one. Electric Boogaloo Gang says, we've got deep fantasy football league, so our punishment was the bottom 4 guys had to get together to do a 24-hour Fortnite ranked stream where they had to finish a case of 30 beers during
24 hours?
a 24-hour stream where they had to finish a 30 case of beer each. Oh, that is funny.
That's ridiculous. A 24-hour stream?
Playing Fortnite live on Twitch, they said. That's really good. That's really good. Anything where you have to live stream for anybody to watch it, I think.
Yeah.
That just like it creates memories that will never go away because you can digitalize it. Let's see. Oh, Tim said loser has to pay the winner's money prize rather than everyone else in the league doing a buy-in.
I've seen
that's
this,
ridiculous.
Like, yeah, I mean,
that's crazy.
See, it's not that crazy. I've seen this punishment before. Obviously, that is something that is a bad punishment. Like, no one wants to do it. You really want to avoid getting last place. It's also just like the least creative thing ever, right?
Yeah.
It's like so not creative at all.
This is a good one. I've seen this one too. Jake said, got to go trick-or-treating in July. Got to collect 10 pieces of candy going door to door before the punishment's over. Have you seen these videos of people having to trick-or-treat in July?
Not at Halloween.
Yeah. You imagine showing up to somebody's door in July in a costume, a full-grown adult? Trick-or-treat.
That is a good one. Wow,
Really
that's
funny.
a really good punishment. And you have to, like you can't end until you get a certain amount of candy. Wow, that's really good.
I don't know what my reaction to be if
What would you do if somebody came to your door?
Yeah, if somebody knocked on my door in July and said trick-or-treat, I'd be like, what? You're a full-grown adult dressed in a costume right now? I would have to assume it's a punishment of some sort.
I would think I would try to find a piece of candy for him.
I would
or
too, but
her.
I don't have candy in my home usually just laying around.
I think I'd have to give him something. Does it have to be candy?
Yeah, here's a strawberry, dude.
Yeah. Even if like they didn't explain it was for a fantasy football punishment, if they were just doing it, I would understand that, like, okay.
I'd just be like, hell yeah, dude.
Something's going on here that for a reason that they have to be doing this. I will entertain this.
At least you're a good sport about it. You know you'd run into some people who
most people would be very
upset.
weirded out. Most people would be very weirded out.
I think I'd be weirded
What are you
out,
doing?
but there'd be some people that would be like, what the hell? Yeah, people that would get pissed off about
Why
it
would they
is
get
the thing. I don't know. Some people are just not very accustomed to people
if you
knocking
got
on
mad
their door.
about that, you just need to grow up.
Some people really don't like people knocking on their door. It's like a weird like post-COVID thing of like, don't come on.
I mean, I don't
it's
like
weird.
when people knock on my door. It's not like I'm not. Oh, I hope someone knocks on my door.
People
you
be
know?
knocking on your door.
Yeah, dude, I'm a busy guy.
It's only happened a couple times, I think, to me. When a random person knocks on my door. Yeah. Those I think we covered like the best ones, or at least the trendy ones. Again, mine, what makes a great fantasy punishment is just how unique and how creative you can get with it. If it's one that I've never seen before that can inflict minimal harm, but like just a little bit, that to me is the golden sweet zone. I'm not trying to dehumanize someone or make someone vomit.
Yeah, or make it like uncomfortable to even be around and witness.
Yeah, I'm not trying to go that far. I just want uniqueness, great memories, and slight embarrassment.
I just want it to be funny. Like, I just want it to be funny. I think it should be funny. It shouldn't be something that's like, oh man, like I kind of feel bad for the loser.
What if we did a fantasy football league and the loser had to film every round of golf they played until they got to 99? What if we did that?
Wait, sorry, what did you just say?
I said, what if the loser had to like film every round of golf they played and make a
Yeah.
series out of it until they had to? What if we just drop that on everyone?
No.
Hey, the entire reason we're doing Road to 99 is because I lost fantasy football last year.
The real loser is me.
Who has to film it?
Because I have to film it, and I have to just deal with Ben raging for 4 hours straight.
Hey, I do not rage for
And I
4
have to
hours
ride
straight
in the
ever.
cart with him.
I do not rage for 4 hours straight. Usually it's like a 30-minute stretch where I'm like super pissed, and then the other 90 minutes I'm good.
Yeah, that's actually the next punishment. But if you lose your fantasy league, we will let you record Ben's Road to 99. Play a round of golf with Ben. That's
Am
the
I
punishment.
really that miserable to be around when we're golfing?
Yeah, just golf's just supposed to be fun, you know? It's just supposed to be fun.
All right, I'll take that into consideration next time we play. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm a competitive person, so like I'm competitive against myself more than anything, and the fact that this has become so hard for me, and I'm not like I was close and now I'm not close, which makes me feel like I was never close. It's kicking in my competitive spirit with myself. You know, that's all it is. I'm not mad at anybody, but I can understand how that would bring the vibe down all around. So my fault on that one. My bad. I'll put the hand up on that one. 999 challenge is always good. It's kind of just a classic one that never gets old.
That's not a bad one. I mean, is it that creative anymore?
Not really.
I also think that the 999 challenge is just so ridiculous. It's like one of the more unachievable. Like, people can do it. I'm not saying it's you can't do it, but
You could give me 12,000 opportunities to do it, and I would never be able to do it.
no, I would never be able to do it either. It's just too much.
I can't do the beer alone.
The timeline is so short. 9 innings, it goes way too fast. The Tigers played a game the other day. It was like 2 hours and 5
That's
minutes.
crazy.
Yeah. Like,
See, I think I could do something hot dog. I don't eat hot dogs, but like if you did it with like, okay, you got to eat 3 chicken tenders for every inning. I think I could do the food part. The beer is what would get me. I wouldn't be able to do that because the beer at ballparks is not just like your typical canned beer. It's
yeah,
a
they're
big
like
beer.
16 ounces. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do 3 of those
The
through
man
the course of a
cans.
game.
I also just think the combination of the food and beer, like,
Combination.
you might be able to do one or the other. The beer plus food is just that's going to cause issues.
Mm-hmm. No, thank you. I'm good on the 999.
I don't think I could do the 9-9-18 challenge, like in a doubleheader.
I don't think. I think I'd be scared to watch somebody do it. I'd feel like I'm in the
I think if
projectile
somebody-
vomit zone at all times.
I think if somebody could, I think people can do it. Like, people can achieve it. Certainly, people have done it. If it's the right guy, yeah, I'd like to watch it happen. I also don't want to watch somebody struggle to scarf down their 7th hot dog while they're on the verge of barfing because they have 9 beers in them. I don't really want to see that. Very similar to what Brant Beach, we love you, Brant Beach, he just threw out in our YouTube chat. The milk mile. I've seen this one. You have to finish a gallon of milk while running a mile. And you have to do it in
A gallon? A gallon? I would be afraid of somebody's organs shutting down and everybody being on like the ropes.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Maybe it's only a liter.
There's no way somebody can drink a gallon of
No,
milk.
you're
that
you're
fast.
like going to puke.
Yeah, you better be careful with that one, Beach, because you could be on the fence for manslaughter for that one. I think your organs would shut down if
somebody's
you had
gonna
a
die?
gallon of milk. I don't think your body can take in a gallon of milk. that
You're gonna
fast.
throw it up.
I hate throwing up. just
This guy thinks you're gonna die from drinking milk.
I'm gonna Google it. Let's see what Google AI
Ben,
tells
I'm
us.
telling you, you're not going to be able to consume it all. It's not going to stay in your system. That's like the whole point of it.
Yeah, you might die. No, you're right though. They'll throw up before you do that.
Like a lot of times.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch that.
No, I'm
if
good
my
on any
league mate is
throw up.
doing a milk mile, I'm all set. Like we had in my league 2 years ago, I think this was at this point, we had the beer mile one. And I was like, it was like, this is a good punishment. It's a classic one. You have to drink a beer between every quarter mile. It's a classic one. And then like, it's just kind of gross. You know, my boy is puking and I'm like, I don't really like this. I don't like watching this.
Mm-hmm.
It's an uncomfortable punishment, that's for sure.
989-837-6125. We'll take a trip around the league when we come back, try to find some new playoff teams for you for that. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on the Mitt. Randy's Green Thumb, proudly serving the Midland area with family-owned friendly service since 1982. offering everything from fresh floral arrangements and vibrant house and outdoor plants to expert landscape and interior plant service. They also design, maintain, and install beautiful gardens, ponds, trees, shrubs, helping both homes and businesses thrive with greenery that lasts. Visit Randy's Green Thumb at Poseyville Road and bring brilliant color, life, and inspiration to your space this season.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
Nine 837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mid. Let's keep rolling with some football. Take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
All right, let's look at the NFL standings from last season and challenge ourselves a little bit. I want to go over the 4 most likely new playoff teams in each conference. Now, that's probably a little bit of a stretch to say that more than half the playoff field is going to be different than it was last year in each conference. I totally understand that. But for the sake of the exercise, let's go through the 4 most likely teams in each conference that could squeak into the postseason that missed out last year. Let's start with the NFC. I've got a good candidate for this first spot. The Lions. How about that? Easy enough. Get that one out of the way. Honestly, of any team that missed the postseason last year, either conference, I think the Lions are the number one choice here.
Disagree.
Chiefs?
It's the Chiefs. But if we're starting in the NFC, we can stay there.
Let's separate it. Let's start with the NFC. I'm going to go Lions as my first. I'm going to go Dallas as my second. I'm starting to really feel like Dallas can win the NFC East with a potent
Really, you think
offense.
they can win the division?
I do. Brand new coordinator with Hurts for like the 9th year in a row. They've kind of gone back and forth on whether or not their offensive coordinators hit. So a lot of pressure on Mannion to open up this season. They're missing out on A.J. Brown. Saquon's a year older. Defense is still lights out. Look, I think this Dallas team, this was a top 5 offense last season. Now it's just a matter of can they put together an average defense. And I think with Quinn Williams and Kenny Clark and their draft picks this year with Caleb Downs as well. Like, I do think that this is a defense ready to take a step forward, not be elite, but I like the Cowboys. So I'll take them as my second team in this conference to make the playoffs as teams that missed last year.
Yeah, I think it's just fair that like the NFC East will not go back-to-back years only putting one team into the playoff. That just is not going to happen. Like, they will have 2 teams at least from this division make it. And so it's just trying to figure out who that second team is going to be if you assume that Philly is going to make the playoffs, which I still think they make the playoffs, whether that's them winning the division or not. I just can't decide between the other 3 teams. I can't. I like the Cowboys with you, and I would lean them over the other 2, but you certainly can make a case for both Washington and New York to be that team. But I don't hate the Dallas pick. What was that? Was that you just doing the milk mile?
Yeah. No, I'm like super out on the Giants being able to make a play. I mean, the Giants won 4 games last year. A new coach is going to bring them to the playoffs. I'm hesitant to believe that. Right now, Odell's like their wide receiver 1. Got Najee Harris in there too. Like, just a lot working against them right now. Washington's just got more upside because we've seen it with them before. But I think Dallas would ultimately be my second team. So you would also go Lions, Dallas as your first 2?
Yeah. Depending on who you pick third here, because I think there's another team that I would probably take over Dallas.
I'm gonna go Tampa third. Somebody's got to win that division, and I don't really think it's going to be Carolina again. So I'll go with Tampa to win it.
Yeah, a motivated Baker going into contract season. I don't really like the situation, though, outside of that. Like, I do have confidence that Baker's going to have a big year. I don't know if that means Tampa's making the playoffs, but you're right in the fact that the division stinks. I've started to talk myself into New Orleans a pretty good amount to maybe be the team to come out of the NFC South, but it's certainly not going to be Atlanta. I don't really like Carolina. Tampa's the safe pick there, so sure, I don't hate it. You still haven't said my team, though, that I would put second.
I know who it is. It's Minnesota.
Well, I don't want to say my team. It's not like I like this team. I've never been more all in on a team.
It's Minnesota, right?
It's Minnesota. Would they be your 4th pick here?
They would be my 4th pick because I don't believe in Atlanta. Yep. I'm going to disagree with you on the Saints. I kind of think that was like a miracle how they finished last season. They're going to be more of the same. And I'm just not going to be high on the Commanders, Giants, or Cardinals heading into this year either. So I think those are the 4 in the NFC for me. Lions, Bucks, Vikings, Cowboys as potential new playoff teams. But make the case for the Vikings, because I know you feel strongly about this.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've made my case on the Vikings pretty stand pat on the show over the last couple of weeks. I just think that they went 9-8 last year with maybe the worst quarterback situation in the league. I think Kyler Murray is the most over-hated quarterback in the NFL. I don't think that he's underrated, I guess. I think it's more so over-hated. I think people just think it's fun to make fun of him. And yes, like, it's not like his career record is good or anything.
It's because it is kind of fun to make fun of him.
Exactly. Like, everyone just enjoys making fun of him, and I think he's fine enough. Like, I think he's going to be totally fine enough in a offense that is controlled by Kevin O'Connell, who is a guy that a lot of people fear. I certainly think that he's one of the better play callers in all of football. They still have Brian Flores somehow because of all of the civil stuff that he's had fighting with the NFL over the last several years. He's just going to remain the defensive coordinator in Minnesota, which sucks for the Lions because that guy I'm extremely scared of. I just think Minnesota and they have the third place schedule, but going 9-8 last year was a miracle for them. Mm-hmm. And their team is just better. I think Jefferson's due for a big year. This is a double-digit win team to me pretty easily.
Easily.
Can I say this, though?
Sure.
I'm not saying that this is the team, but Pizza Man says you're sleeping on the Giants. John Harbaugh is going to make a big difference.
Do you know who their OC is?
Matt Nagy, right?
Yeah.
I think Brian Callahan is in the group somewhere in there, too. I think he's like the offensive line coach or something. So that's pretty tough.
I thought he was in Tennessee. Maybe you're right.
Well, he was Tennessee's head coach, so I.
You're right. He's with the Giants. You're right.
I want you to try and guess because John Harbaugh. What do you think the Giants are going to be this year?
7-10.
Like that's like a ceiling for them.
Yeah, I would say 8 and 9 is their ceiling.
Okay, 7 wins. How many times in John Harbaugh's career do you think his team has had 7 or less wins since he's been a coach in the NFL? 18 years in the NFL, he's been a coach.
Twice.
One time. 5-11, worst time. He's gone 8 wins a couple times. Most of the time, well above 500.
He's also always had great assistant coaches. He's also, for the most part, had good quarterbacks.
You're going to credit he's had good assistant coaches.
I'm just saying things have slipped.
You're just looking for excuses at this point.
I'm just saying things slipped. He's a culture guy, right? More than anything.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what the Giants needed.
Why did the culture get so weird at the end with Baltimore?
You think the culture got weird in Baltimore?
I mean, they kind of pushed him out.
I mean, it felt like they were due for a change.
I'm going to be taking their under. Who are the playoff teams? Because if we're going to put 4 new playoff teams in, we got to take 4 playoff teams out.
That's right.
I think there's some pretty obvious ones. San Fran and Carolina being the top 2. Just San Fran's just already.
Yep. And there's another obvious one. Chicago Bears.
I don't think that one's as obvious. I would say the Packers are more likely to miss out entirely than the Bears. But you're right. If I had to pick a 4th, it'd be the Bears.
Sorry, I meant to say the Hammond Bears.
Oh, right. The
Indiana Bears, whatever we want to call them. And then who's the 4th one?
Green Bay.
Yeah, we're not taking both Green Bay and Chicago. They're not both missing the playoffs.
If we're going to put Minnesota and the Lions in.
Yeah, this division rocks. It's got 3 playoff teams in it.
No, because we think the East is going to have 2. So you think the East has 0? Or just 1? Just the division leader?
Is that how that would stack up? I think I got one too many playoff teams.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out later.
Yeah, it's for another time. All right, the AFC.
Chiefs is obvious one.
Chiefs
I
is
think
the obvious
they're the overall
number
one. I just think if Mahomes is playing, they're not missing the playoffs.
I'll go Baltimore 2.
Of course.
Cincinnati 3.
You like Cincinnati.
I mean, more than the other teams that missed the playoffs.
Mostly an anti-Cincinnati guy.
I mean, but who else am I supposed to choose here for teams that missed the playoffs last season? I'm not choosing Miami. I'm not choosing Cleveland. I'm not choosing the Raiders. I'm not choosing the Jets. I'm not choosing the Titans.
Not the Colts?
See, that's kind of like I'm kind of staring at these teams like, do I have to just pick the Colts as the number 4 team?
Or are you going to fall into this late push that the Cleveland Browns might be good?
No, I will not.
Have you been seeing this?
Yeah, everyone likes their roster
Colin
outside
likes
of their
the Browns.
quarterbacks.
Booger McFarland likes the Browns.
Like, guys, their quarterbacks are Shador Sanders and Deshaun Watson.
I think there is I'm not saying I fall into this. I certainly do not. I think there is a group of NFL heads that think Deshaun Watson might be fine again.
I think Deshaun Watson has no interest in playing football anymore. Like, I think Deshaun
I'm sure
Watson...
he's interested in playing football.
I think he's fulfilling his contract and taking his money and is happy to take his money and does not care if this team wins or loses. Like, since that guy has shown up in Cleveland, has there been one clip or motivational, like, pregame speech where you're like, oh, this guy, like, cares about football? No, not at all. I think that guy's showing up to collect paychecks, and then once he has fulfilled his contract, I don't think he'll ever play a game again. So, no, I do not think Deshaun Watson will all of a sudden be back. I don't think he has an interest in being great. I think he's just kind of there to collect some checks.
The Colts probably just got to be that fourth team then.
Yeah,
I think the Colts are going to have a chance.
sure.
I don't think they're going to be bad. I don't think the Colts are like a bad team. They might just be 8-9 again next year and miss the playoffs, but hopefully they just don't do it in the way that they did last year. That was pretty sad.
And then I would say the playoff teams that are most likely to miss this year are the Steelers.
For sure, the Steelers. Call me crazy, Ben.
I'm going to do something crazy
Is
too.
the team that made the Super Bowl last year the number 2 team?
See, I would say the team that was the 1 seed is the next team, I would say.
Okay.
I would say the Denver
but either
Broncos.
way, one of the 14 win teams we're saying is not a playoff team. That's kind of crazy.
I would put
It's like in the
I
world
like
that
all
CJ
these other
Stroud
teams,
stinks.
man. The AFC is deep.
The AFC is really deep. But it has to be one of Houston or Jacksonville, right?
Unless I would probably just go Denver and New England, and then the Steelers and
Denver and New England, the top 2 seeds.
Who I don't even know who to choose as
There's
this
no way
last
there's
team. I
four
like
new,
all of them.
No way there's 4 new playoff teams.
I don't think so. No,
There's 3.
if that
But even if there's 3, yeah, who are we kicking out? Man, the AFC is deep.
deep. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. When it comes to your trees on your property, trust the professionals at Legendary Tree Care. From routine trimming and tree removal to emergency storm cleanup, their experienced team provides safe, reliable service you can count on. Legendary Tree Care is proud to serve Mid-Michigan with strength, safety, and skill to keep your property looking its best.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh 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 yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, so the Lions, they play at noon tomorrow. They go against the Commanders. You know, during the first preseason game 8 days ago, we did a segment. It was like, what to look for. And I told you, the quarterback battle doesn't matter. I don't care what it is. That's not one of the things I'm going to be watching. That's not really the case anymore. I have no idea who the quarterback 2 is going to be on this team. So that's kind of the number one storyline to watch heading into tomorrow. Like, obviously, like, oh, who are they playing on the offensive line? What starter? Like, sounds like there's going to be some spot starters that play. No Jared Goff. I doubt St. Brown plays or anybody, like any of the stars. But there might be some starters that play. And yes, of course, I'd like to see how they perform in their lone drive or whatever. But I think I have shifted like a total 180 that the quarterback battle doesn't matter at all to now. This game today, or tomorrow, I mean, might decide who the quarterback 2 is, or at least have a huge swing on who it is. Between Luke Altmaier, the rookie, the UDFA from Illinois, and Joshua Dobbs, who's kind of been a veteran of this league, but came into training camp pretty late, which has given him a pretty big disadvantage just in terms of learning the playbook and everything. Right now, it kind of feels like it's like minus 120 that it's going to be Luke Altmaier. And there's another thing going in his favor because you could just waive or cut Josh Dobbs, and because of his experience in the league and like how long he's been in the NFL, he can just have free choice and free will of where he signs. You can bring him back to the practice squad and continue to elevate him on game day to have him be the quarterback 2 until Luke Altmaier is actually ready to be the quarterback 2. Whereas if you part ways with Luke Altmaier because of his lack of service time, he hits the waivers and anybody could pick him up. I kind of feel like Luke Altmaier is just like minus 120 right now to win the starting job, even though Joshua Dobbs, they announced, is going to be the starter tomorrow, even though they're splitting time and splitting series. I don't know if that's going to be a half and a half or every other drive, but sounds like both are going to have a fair share of playing tomorrow.
It just felt like when they signed Josh Dobbs that he was going to be the backup quarterback, you know, just based off of the experience factor. And Luke Altmaier, I mean, if I'm being honest, I feel like a lot of guys didn't even really know he was on the roster. So, or at least that he was going to have a chance to be on the roster, that is.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, when Bridgewater's here, didn't really feel like he had a chance at all.
I didn't really know Luke Altmaier was a Lion until like all the Bridgewater stuff went down. It's like, oh, okay, like there actually is a potential battle here for the backup quarterback spot. We've mentioned this. I still feel this way. Most Lions fans should feel this way. It doesn't really matter who the backup quarterback is unless you have like Mac Jones. There's a hand select few guys that I think can hold a team season together. If their starting quarterback goes down, the Lions certainly are not one of those teams.
Yeah, Flacco was like that for a long time, and then he just became good enough to become a starter again.
Right. Brissett's in the same mold, right?
Yeah.
Brissett has kind of earned his way to being a starter because he was a pretty good backup for quite some time, and the Cardinals just don't have many better other options. So, yeah, and Mac Jones, I think, is about to enter that territory. Mac Jones feels like he could be a starting quarterback once again.
He's the next guy to earn a starting job.
I would assume next year, like he's probably just the Steelers quarterback next year.
I mean, JJ.
I love how we're just throwing... Oh, that guy's probably the Steelers quarterback next season because they just, of course, won't draft a guy in the first round.
I think there's going to be a lot more guys, a lot more teams that need a quarterback next year than we realize. And
especially with a draft of quarterbacks coming in as well.
Yeah, and like there's an entire division in the NFC that might have 4 different quarterback changes. So there's that too.
The South?
Yeah, I mean it could.
Oh, you think so? Whole division?
I think there's a possibility.
For sure, 2 of them.
I think there's a possibility of all 4. I don't think anybody's like in love with marrying their active quarterback.
Is it crazy to say
now.
that Tyler Shook is the most likely guy to be the starter next year out of all those teams?
No, I think that's accurate.
It's just weird to say.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's just weird you're doing a 180 on this because you basically told everyone like, oh, who cares about who's playing quarterback for the Lions last week?
I know, and now it's
you're
like,
all
wait,
in.
we kind of have a battle here. This is kind of the number one thing to watch. Look, and like I ultimately agree with you. If Jared Goff ever gets hurt at some point throughout the season's probably just over. It doesn't matter who the backup is. And that's kind of a tip of the cap to Jared Goff that he's good enough to be irreplaceable.
Yeah, and backup quarterbacks just aren't very good, too. Like, that plays.
I also would just kind of like to know who our backup quarterback is. And right now the Lions don't have any sort of answer. They haven't really given an inkling as to who that player is going to be. Because you're right, I thought it would have been Dobbs. Altmaier's just kind of been repping more so as the one through camp and through preseason so far. So I think tomorrow will be telling based on how long Dobbs plays versus how long Altmaier plays, who looks better, because that could have a huge swing on who ends up being the backup quarterback heading into this. There's a pretty good chance all three are on the roster.
Yeah.
Even if one of them's not, on the practice squad getting elevated as the emergency quarterback.
Especially if it's Altmaier. Like, I don't see another team going out and getting Altmaier. You know, if I would assume that he probably just goes back to the Lions practice squad if he's not the guy.
Someone could pick him up on waivers. I wouldn't be totally shocked. That's why, I think Altmaier actually has a better chance of
getting the roster spot at least.
Getting the roster spot, and then you just cut Dobbs and have him be a practice squatter who gets elevated the first 3 weeks of the season, and then he basically serves as the backup quarterback, even though you're using activations from your practice squad, because you can only get activated a certain amount of times throughout the year. And they might want, hey, here's an extra 3 weeks for Altmaier to kind of get the rust out.
Is it weird to say that I almost want it to be Luke Altmaier?
No,
I don't
do
really
too.
care that much. I almost want it to be him too, because then it gives a little sense of hope, right?
Of what?
Just because we've never seen him play. We know who Josh Dobbs is.
Yeah.
Not hope that he can replace Goff, but in hope that, if Goff ever did go down, here's Luke Altmaier, who doesn't have, what if he just is fine?
Well,
it's like when McCarthy went down last year for the Vikings, and there was that 4-day stretch
Max Brosmer.
of all of the Vikings fans plus you being like, Max Brosmer's actually the best quarterback on the roster. He's actually better than Wentz and McCarthy. And then he threw 5 interceptions against the Seahawks in the first half. And
really good defense.
Really bad quarterback too. So it's there would be that, if there was ever a situation, we would have that 4-day of false hope of, oh, wait a second, Luke Altmaier though.
I also think
what if he's good?
Altmaier as a rookie is way more malleable. They can kind of shape him however they want him to be and mold him into whatever type of quarterback they want him to be. Whereas Dobbs has a ton of years under his belt and kind of has his own play style and
kind of plays frantically.
Very
mobile
frantically.
Quarterback. Yeah, but and also
chaotic.
If Altmaier wins the job, it also means that he has earned it over Dobbs.
Yeah, it wouldn't
and
be for
Dobbs
no
is
reason.
a guy that people do so it would mean that he's done enough to earn that spot, which is big.
Yeah, I think I'm rooting for Altmaier.
I think I am too.
Nothing against
Big
Dobbs.
Big 10 guy too.
Big 10. Nothing against Dobbs, but I just think there's something in terms of we have a rookie who's malleable. They can mold him however they want to be. They can really infiltrate his mind in a lot of ways, in positive ways, to where, hey, if you ever do have to play, this is how you should be playing, and he's not going to know anything else but to play exactly how his coaches are telling him. Not to say that Dobbs is actively going against what coaches. That's not what I'm saying. But when you come in as a veteran and have played for 6 different teams,
it's also good to have a vet at the same time.
Yeah. There's pros and cons to both. I do think that's the most interesting thing going into tomorrow's matchup, though.
As long as it's
Total
not
180.
As long as it's not TB12, man, backing up Jared Goff. That's all I care about.
Tim Boyle,
correct.
The real TB12.
Man, TB12. I always remember that game against the Cleveland Browns. Year 1 of Dan Campbell. Is
that
just
the Blau
terrible.
Bowl?
No, I think Blau was on the Lions at that time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tim Boyle. We had 2 guys.
Boyle sucks.
Boyle did suck, yeah. But stayed in the NFL because of Aaron Rodgers. Remember that? They were buddies. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. Live here on 100.9 the 11 o'clock hour. Brought to you by Yiter Insurance. On the way, another Lions starter down for week 1. That's unfortunately where we're going to open up the hour.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9.
Is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
One more hour till we're at the weekend. At least Kyle and I are. Our weekend starts early. All right, let's get going. The Lions could be down an additional starter. It would be their fourth. We kept saying it was going to be their second starter to go down. I was just thinking the preseason injuries. I hadn't really considered Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are also starters who are not going to be playing. So Cade Mays, Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, and now Sam LaPorta joins the list as potential players who will not be playing week one. Still up in the air. It's not a guarantee he's going to miss all that amount of time. But Dan Campbell says yesterday, hip injury pops up. They're taking it easy with him. His status for week one is in jeopardy right now. TBD, 50-50 chance. Look, I'll tell you guys this. The Lions are 4-5 without Sam LaPorta. Most of that was last season. It felt like that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back last year. Really, things started to spiral once he went out. And he's always viewed upon as this reliable third down target, Mr. Move the Chains, consistent. He does have some explosive plays in there, like don't get me wrong. But a lot of times is a safety option and a go-to for Jared Goff in big-time moments. Maybe he doesn't have the explosive games like the multiple touchdowns, 100 yards. That doesn't happen very often, but he's always going to be catching 3 first-down passes every single game and getting 40, 50, 60 yards on a good day, 70, 80. Catches a touchdown every other game he plays too. Like, he's extremely reliable. With that being said, I was always concerned with how this guy plays football. It's not like Cam Scattaboo, just completely reckless seeking contact. But when you're as big and powerful and fast as Sam LaPorta is, you are bound to take some big-time hits. Because when Sam LaPorta is, in fact, moving full speed, a guy that big, that is a hard horse to bring down. You're not just bringing that guy down. No DB's just like tackling that guy. So what do DBs do? They launch themselves at Sam LaPorta. A lot of time below the waist. And it's not dirty. It's just the only way to bring them down. It leads to big-time collisions. It leads to Sam LaPorta hitting the ground really hard repeatedly. That's big guys fall hard. Okay, Sam LaPorta hits the ground pretty hard. Violent over and over and over again throughout the course of a season to the point where it led to a back injury last season. That's not good. He's dealt with knee injuries in his career back to his rookie season. That's not good. And that was when he was like 22 years old and could just bounce back right away. He did. He didn't even miss a game. That wasn't the case with the back injury. He missed half of last season. Now he's already dealing with a hip injury after getting popped during training camp at some point in the hip. Apparently that's flared up. I do have some long-term concerns about Sam LaPorta's health, and as he's vying for a new contract, this is not good news for him individually, and this is obviously not good news for the Lions to lose a fourth starter potentially for week one. Maybe this is being overblown and he ends up being healthy, but there's still a long-term concern on whether or not Sam LaPorta can survive 18 weeks now. And I hate to just label a guy injury-prone because 9 games in 3 seasons, it's not like that's like a crazy amount of time to miss. But it's not something to just scoff at and be like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't know. Sam LaPorta's had 3 major injuries so far. I guess 2 major injuries, and this hip one, we'll see what ends up happening. It's not a long-term concern, but again, like the collisions and the way that this guy plays and the wear and tear that this guy's body takes throughout the course of a season, it does make me pretty nervous. And for a guy who's trying to get that contract extension, I don't know, man. This was not good news to hear yesterday for anybody.
No, and you mentioned, I don't want to label a guy's injury prone. Do we not already feel this way pre this injury happening? Like, we were already worried about the long-term status of Sam LaPorta after last season in this entire offseason.
Yeah, I don't think he could have been labeled injury prone,
but we were still worried.
Back injury, like the back injury he was dealing with was like something that wasn't just going away, you know?
Exactly. Like, we were certainly worried about the future of Sam LaPorta from a health standpoint prior to this hip injury happening.
Yeah, he's got an injured back and it's a disc in his back? Like,
yeah.
What?
If this would have been, and if this flare-up that we got yesterday from LaPorta would have been something related to the back injury, then the worried meter would be,
it'd be like
an 8 or 9. Yeah, it'd be ridiculous. So
guys just don't bounce back from back injuries all that often.
at least this is separate from that, but it still doesn't help the fact of, oh man, like we are not even into the season yet. We haven't seen Sam LaPorta in like 10 months.
I know.
You know, he missed the whole back half of the season last year. It has been forever since we've seen that guy play meaningful football. And the
Lions' rushing attack was down 30 yards per game from when he was playing to when he wasn't.
Yeah.
30 yards, that's a lot.
I think he affected their season more than anyone as far as him being out. Brian Branch, when he went out, I mean, the defense really, really fell apart. But I think things had already started to fall off the rails in general. Once Sam LaPorta went out, it just took the season actually ending for us to look back and realize, like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of the moment.
Sam LaPorta going out was the moment where the Lions season really started to fall. So,
which does kind of like confirm all the things that we always say about Sam LaPorta, that he's like the most underrated player on this team, one of the more underrated players across the league. Not a top 5 tight end, but like easily could be if he was just in his own offense.
You don't think he's a top 5 tight end?
Statistically, no. I think some people, like, I think I'd put him right on that bubble.
Statistically really aren't. I mean, Kittle never was statistically a top 5 tight end and always was viewed as a top 2 guy no matter what, just because of everything else he does.
Yeah, LaPorta just suffers from being in an offense with Gibbs and Amon-Ra and J-Mo as well. That's really all it comes down to. I think he's just better than his numbers suggest he is and does all the dirty work and is, like, if you have Sam LaPorta on your team, you don't have to worry about tight end other than when he's not playing. Which could be week 1.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it as the other guys in the room. I mean, you have the best running back in the league, potentially, with Jahmyr Gibbs, and then what PFF just graded as the best wide receiver room in the NFL with St. Brown, which that was kind of surprising to see that. Best room in the league? All right, I think
they kind of included receiving threat, like Gibbs as a receiver and LaPorta as a receiver as well, I think is the way I interpreted that.
Okay, I see. I thought it was just wide receiver corps because I don't think the Lions is the best. I certainly think it's towards the top. I don't think it's the best.
It's one of the 5 best.
But anyways, like LaPorta having to run with that offense, yeah, it's very impressive what he does. And so not having him, he could be back for week 1. They're just uncertain. I would assume with the way that Sam LaPorta, hasn't played football since the middle of the year last year, they're probably going to take this a little extra cautiously. So I would guess LaPorta probably doesn't play week 1. I know we're some time from that, but
both the Saints and the Lions missing some key pieces for week 1 already.
Yeah, Kamara out for the Saints.
Well, I think the bigger one is Jordan Tyson, who
of course.
had been having an incredible training camp. And
I feel bad for him, man, because he has really dealt with the injury bug his whole college career and is just going to miss like most of the season prior to even playing.
Is that really the timeline on it?
I mean, he's out like months.
It's a hamstring.
Yeah.
It's not something you just like come back from. You got to really take it easy with the hamstring, especially as a rookie. Yeah, I feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for the Saints. Oh, you drafted the most injury-prone receiver in the draft, and now he's hurt before the season started? Okay.
And your wide receiver 1 is the most concussion-riddled guy in the league, and Chris Olave. Oh, wait, Tua?
Yeah, outside of Tua.
Yeah.
He is. Like, I don't think anybody's had more concussions than Olave. Other than Tua.
In that stretch, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I mainly just feel bad for the player. And I feel bad for LaPorta, man, because this is a guy that, I mean, there's so many cliche things about talking about football players, but LaPorta does really fit, like, all of the cliches. Every time Dan Campbell talks about LaPorta or anyone does, they're like, man, the guy just loves football. Mm-hmm. And I know that's everybody loves football.
That's a lot of tight ends. You got to love football to be tight ends. You got to
be wired a little differently to be the tight end. Yes, 100%. And I think LaPorta fits that to an absolute T. And so not having him to start the season really stinks. He's also a fan favorite, too. Everybody likes LaPorta. I mean, all the fans love LaPorta.
Okay, you're saying he's a high approval rating.
Yeah, like a 100% approval rating. I don't think anybody is like, LaPorta.
No, you're totally right there.
Why did he mess that up?
I thought you meant he's one of the favorite guys on the team. I was like, he is?
Oh, no,
but you're totally right in terms of the approval.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a great player to have. Not playing week 1. Like this is not a diss on J-Mo because I think J-Mo is bound for another 1,000-yard season. I think losing LaPorta is more important than losing J-Mo. If they were to like lose one of, like, you have to go have LaPorta out there. You have to have that big time presence over the middle of the field. And J-Mo does a lot of stuff that you can't measure either. But like the reliability from Sam LaPorta on 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 4s, it's next to like if you didn't have, we're kind of like blessed with having St. Brown as two options there.
But also that's what makes St. Brown so good is LaPorta also being out there.
Yeah,
on 3rd and medium, the defense can hone in on St. Brown.
You can't do it on LaPorta and St. Brown.
Exactly.
Though. And one of those guys is bound to get open because LaPorta's faster than the linebackers that are covering him and too big for the DBs to, like, he can just wall those guys off. And then he will once in a while hit you with he's streaking down the field up the seam, 20 yards down. Boom. He's going up and grabbing it over 2 guys because he's massive. He's one of the more unsung heroes of this team, and we saw that last season when he went out. You don't realize how important somebody is until he is not playing, and I think last year's a perfect example of why Sam LaPorta is so important to this team, even though he's not a player that's discussed as much as, guys like St. Brown and JMO and Goff and LaPorta and Gibbs and Hutch. Like, those are all the guys that are talked about the most. I don't know why we don't talk about LaPorta as much, because he just shows up and is consistent every game. Here's 55 yards, 4 or 5 receptions, 3 first downs. Mr. Move the Chains. Every single game, you know exactly what you're getting from him. There's no diva. There's no worried about getting him his targets. If he has 2 targets and the Lions win, he's perfectly fine with it. If he has 8 targets and the Lions win, he's perfectly fine with it and will give all the credit to Jared Goff for throwing him great balls. Like, this is one of the most quieter, one of the more quieter guys on the team that just shows up, does his job, and loves doing it, which is why we don't have to talk about him as much, which is usually a good thing. Not having him week 1 would be somewhat of a blow. Not having him week 2 would be obviously much more important, because I think a lot of people are expecting the Lions and the Bills to get into a shootout week 2.
Wow, I can't wait.
You want to know something I did yesterday?
Oh, God. You've had football fever pretty heavy this week, Ben.
I think we all have.
For the audience. Yeah, you've had a little extra, though.
16 games. I ranked them based on how excited I am for them for the week 1 slate.
Let's hear it.
Right now? Okay.
Why not? It's Friday. Oh, like you're talking you did all of the games from week 1. I thought you ranked the Lions' schedule. How excited you are for each game.
No. I did all the week 1 games, which ones I'm the most excited to see. I'll say this too. I hate that the Lions are playing at 1 o'clock week 1. I hate it. I wish they were a primetime game. That's where I've decided.
On week 1?
Yeah, you just have to be a primetime game week 1. That way, Sunday at 1 o'clock, I'm not like pulling my hair out. Because Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Oh, you want to enjoy all the other games.
Yeah, I'm going to be pulling my hair out, stressed out. And I just want 1 o'clock on Sunday to be red zone o'clock.
Yeah, like football is finally back. Red zone is back. That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, I just want to have a bag of Doritos, have my notepad and my pen, and just be able to watch red zone with my fantasy teams pulled up
good
on my
news
laptop.
For you can do that week 2.
I can do that week 2, correct. Here's the tier of the games that I had. Best week 1 games, put it in my notes. The game I'm the least excited to watch, but still would gladly watch them go head-to-head today if I could. Dolphins-Raiders. Kirk Cousins, Malik Willis. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all set.
Browns-Jaguars is my second worst.
Really?
Falcons-Steelers. Jets-Titans.
I was going to say, how have you not said Jets-Titans yet?
Something about Jets-Titans.
The over-under of that game is 38.5.
And I'm
week
smashing
1, we've
the
already
over.
got a 38.5 over-under.
Smashing the over. I had the Lions and the Saints 12th. Just from like unbiased standpoint, I think this game's fine. It's not like a marquee matchup.
It's the third largest spread of the slate. Like, it's not supposed to be a good game, hypothetically.
I have Ravens at Colts is 11. Bucks at Bengals, little cross-conference play, 10. Cardinals at Chargers, number 9. Commanders at Eagles.
I kind of like Cardinals Chargers.
I know.
I don't know. Something about that one.
Commanders at Eagles, I have 8. Bears at Panthers, I have 7. Anytime those guys play, the Caleb Williams, Bryce Young, always attached at the hip. Packers Vikings
no more
6.
DJ Moore in that deal anymore, though. It kind of takes away from it.
Yeah. Packers Vikings, I have 6.
Really? This is you standpoint, I figured that game would be like top 3. I mean, Packers Vikings division game.
Division game, really important. Come week 18, like we look back at that one, it'll be one of the more important games. But how can it top any of these 5 games? Patriots at Seahawks, Super Bowl matchup is 5th. The Super Bowl matchup is 5th.
Do you take into consideration at all that this is like the first game?
No.
Okay, because if you were, I think it'd be higher, right? The fact that it's the first game, like you're so excited for football, it might be
It's not the first game, though. It's the second game.
Patriots-Seahawks?
Yeah.
Patriots-Seahawks is the first game.
Oh, the Australia game is Thursday?
Yeah, the
okay,
Super Bowl,
my bad.
The Super Bowl winner always plays in the first game.
Number 4 I have is Broncos at Chiefs, Return of the King.
Maybe.
Cowboys at Giants, I have it Monday night. I can't tell you how
Really?
excited I am to watch Jackson Dart just implode. I can't tell you how excited I am to watch
and what
it.
if he's good? Then you're not going
I'll
to be
shut
excited
up.
at all.
Yeah, I'll shut up then. Then he beats the Cowboys. Sweet.
And I think this has to be taken into consideration. This is Sunday Night Football.
Yeah,
And it's
the best slate.
Like Collinsworth.
No,
doing
that's Monday.
Doing
no,
the
you're right.
Jackson Dart. Oh, getting that. Oh, I just can't wait.
Jackson Dart doesn't slide, gets absolutely rocked, is holding his head on the ground, and then pops up, and he's like, "Why did I go to the concussion tent? I don't really understand any of this."
Cam Scadaboo has already done 4 front flips.
He lines up in the wrong huddle.
Just can't wait.
Number 2 I have is Bills at Texans, just like an elite 1 o'clock
1
game.
o'clock, I know.
Yeah, just a great
really
game.
good one. And the Lions are playing the Bills week 2, so you really want to get a look at them.
It's what a lot of people
such a
believe.
shame that this is at the same time as the Lions.
It's what a lot of people believe is the best quarterback in the NFL going up against the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah. Also, a little bit of hype into this game. I would assume that this is the primetime CBS game. And who is calling the game with Jim Nantz?
I have no idea.
Because I don't think it's Tony Romo.
I think it's Watt.
Oh, it is. He got elevated. Yeah, they took him away from Ian Eagle. Messed up, man.
re-
Eagle and Watt were a really good duo.
Reading all of this, I think it might be mandatory that I get a second TV this year. Last year it was like a big
I
time.
thought you do have 2 TVs.
Yeah, but that other one is total junk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it won't stay on for 4 hours. I think I need to just get another one. And then the number 1 game is the Thursday nighter.
Of course.
In Australia. Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Rams 49ers. It's by far the game I'm the most looking forward to. You get to see the Rams, obviously the offseason, the team that won the offseason, going up against the team that maybe lost the offseason. Not in terms of any transactions, but just there's just so much going on.
They have the worst offseason, unfortunately, for them, yeah.
Even though they added Mike Evans.
Genius idea from the NFL, huge divisional game in week 1. Let's put it in Australia. Yep, so good.
Who's the team that gets screwed there? I would assume, it's the 49ers.
The Niners get screwed. I think because the Niners also are, they're just showing up and leaving, I think. Or no. The Rams are showing up and leaving.
They're showing up day of?
The 49ers, they don't want to get accustomed to the time because it's going to screw them when they come back.
Oh.
The Niners are going to be there, I think, for a while. I think the Rams are pulling up the day before playing and then dipping.
Oh, I'd want to be there for a while if I was playing in a game.
I don't think they want to because it's going to screw with their sleep and everything for when they come back.
That's
I think that's what their plan is.
But I don't know, man. To do a 12-hour flight and then play football?
I mean, both options are
sounds
not great.
terrible.
Yeah, here's the common denominator here.
Don't play in
Why
Australia.
the hell is there a game in Australia? Yeah, I think that's it. And it's on Netflix, too, which you love. You love the Netflix
I do like
stuff.
the Netflix games. The Hellraiser.
Get to see Tom Pelissero on there, yeah.
Calling all collectors, sports fans, and hobby enthusiasts, Curveball Collectibles is your one-stop shop for everything in the trading card world. Whether you're buying, selling, or trading, Curveball has the latest sealed hobby boxes, raw and graded cards, and autograph spots, memorabilia from top brands like Fanatics and Topps. Stop in and experience the excitement of an in-store card atmosphere where the hobby community comes together. Only at Curveball Collectibles. 11 o'clock hour brought to you by Yiter Insurance. Life happens fast, and at Yiter Insurance Group, they're here to make sure you're covered every step of the way. Locally owned and trusted in Midland for decades, they treat you like family, not just another policy number. From home and auto to business and life insurance, Yiter is the right coverage for every stage of life. Their team makes insurance simple with expert advice and real people you can actually talk to. That's Yiter Insurance. We'll be there when you need us since 1940.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Myth.
All right, welcome back in. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Kyle Sandel is going to take it away with the mid-morning catch heading into the weekend.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
You know, kind of random, but I still can't believe how aligned we were with our takes on pizza yesterday.
What's that?
That was crazy. How aligned we were with our pizza takes. That
Yeah, about
the leftover Little
Yes.
Caesars is like you're basically eating cardboard.
if you eat leftover Little C's, like something's wrong with you.
Yep.
Also, we also were aligned in the fact that while you're heating up the pizza in the air fryer, you have a cold slice while you wait.
Yeah.
I always do that.
Unless
Unless
it's
I only
deep
have a
dish.
couple pieces. Yeah, cold deep dish.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
What are you doing? That'd be awful.
Hungry Howie's has some great cold pizza. That's
I think
my
all-
favorite.
I think all cold pizza's pretty good. Like if it's thin crust, yeah, for the most part. Okay, except for Little C's, because it's
yeah.
just leftover in general. It's just bad. Okay, we have some breaking news going on as we were in our last break there. Pete Thamel reporting that the court ruling that gives the class of 2022 the 5th year of eligibility, that's why all these guys are coming back in college basketball and more importantly in college football because, you know, they start in like a week. They've reversed the court ruling. These 5th year guys for class of 2022 that all were, you know, able to come back are now not able to. Thamel does say that this is going to, of course, be battled in court even further.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kyle, do you really think this is actually going to get overruled? I think they're all still going to be able to play.
Yeah.
And then after it's deemed that they'll all still be able to play, even though it got overruled, it'll get overruled again, and then they'll sue the NCAA. And then everyone will get what they want except the NCAA.
This is so funny because we're getting more tweets. So apparently this does not affect the 16 former college football players that are playing in Louisiana because they have a temporary restraining order.
I hate this sport. I hate it.
But it does affect a number of players that play in Indiana and other programs that have been brought back to their rosters. Yeah.
But only Louisiana, not other SEC schools?
That's just what Pete Nakos is tweeting. I assume there's a good amount of states that kind of have the temporary restraining order, that it works more in their state than others. Yeah, the sport's stupid. That's all that matters. And honestly, giving an update is probably pointless, right?
Yes.
Because it's just going to change on Monday, or it's going to change in an hour,
Just
or
give
in
me
10
the
minutes.
NFL, man. Just give me the freaking NFL.
Pretty ridiculous.
I'll watch Michigan, and I'll watch Michigan State this year, and I'll watch the awesome primetime matchups. Other than that, I hate this sport. It's just ridiculous how
Yeah.
much I have fallen out of love with it. Fix it.
It's brutal. We also had some news happen in the last half hour or so. Mark Stad, private investment businessman, I guess you could call him, has acquired Mark Lohr's stake in the Minnesota Timberwolves and Minnesota Lynx. Mark Lohr was the co-owner with Alex Rodriguez, so A-Rod is still be involved, but Mark Stad has bought that for $4.5 billion. That's the valuation, at least, that the both Timberwolves and Lynx stake is at. So more private equity owners in basketball.
Yeah, this is the most amount of teams that have been sold over a 2-3 year stretch ever. The previous guy, Mark Lohr, he bought the Timberwolves like less than 5 years ago, right? And basically tripled his value, almost tripled his value on what he bought him for. I mean, there's been a lot of conversations that have been had, like Simmons' latest podcast. It was mostly about owners. This whole Mark, what's his last name? The Dodgers owner.
Walter.
Mark
A lot
Walter.
of Marks involved here, yeah.
Yeah. Dodgers and Lakers owner who also owns Chelsea FC. Had to sell them, had to sell the Lakers, and seems like there's a chance he's going to have to sell the Dodgers because he was using insurance money to do loans and stuff, and it's just gotten really shady. But every single one of these sports teams' values has skyrocketed over the past 5 seasons. All these private equities want to just come in and own these sports teams to where they're phasing the single rich guy in your local town out. Like, in a lot of ways, Tom Gore's just kind of a local rich guy who bought the Pistons for $325 million. If some private
He's
equity,
pretty rich. I wouldn't just say he's local rich guy.
Sure, $325 million. He's extremely rich. If someone came in and was like, "Hey, here's what did the Timberwolves just go for? 4.5, right?"
Yeah, but that's just that's just what his stake went for, you know?
Yeah, if someone came in and was like, "Here's $5 billion, Tom Gores, you're no longer part of the team," you bet your sweet bippy he is for sure selling the Detroit Pistons. And I think that could happen tomorrow, and I wouldn't blink. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Every single one of these teams, if you didn't buy within the last 5 years, like, you can just like triple your value of what these teams are now. It's ridiculous how these private equity companies and like this Saudi money is just coming in and taking over every sports team.
Yeah, a couple of back-to-back pretty just bad news things there with both the college thing and new ownership in the NBA. Let's do another bad one. Micah Parsons has ranked the NFC North standings this year. He gave out what the NFC North is going to look like this year.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Want to guess?
Packers won.
Yep.
I bet you he went Bears last.
He went Bears 2.
Did he go Vikings third?
He went Lions 3rd, Vikings 4th.
Well, his IQ is above.
He does have above
ours.
IQ. So
he's got an above IQ, so I trust him on this one.
That's true. That's actually a good point. Okay, I'm going to do something for the soccer fans out there because I know Kevin is listening to the show. He's going to enjoy this. The EPL is back today. The season starts today, English Premier League. And I said on the show, I got to pick a team. I got till 3 p.m. today to pick a team because Arsenal starts off the season today in the EPL at 3 p.m. So I got to pick a team. I think Erling Haaland, he's either on Man City or Man United. I can't remember which one. So maybe I just pick that team. Maybe I don't pick any team. I don't know.
Sure, I picked the Detroit Football Club. That's my pick, even though it's not the league.
Yeah, it's not even close to this league. Okay, so yeah, that's starting today for all of you soccer fans out there. Other stuff going on. We, of course, have a flurry of NFL preseason games tonight and tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you about them because I don't think that many people care about it that much. But here's something fun.
Overhit.
Oh, what's up, Sarah?
Hey, Sarah.
Okay, the University of Utah is suing former assistant Freddie Whittingham. That's the brother of Kyle Whittingham, the now Michigan head coach. They're suing him for a breach of contract after he left the Utes to join the coaching staff of his brother Kyle at Michigan. So there we go. Boom. It took Kyle Whittingham and family a couple months to get another lawsuit against the coaching staff of a Michigan person. They're keeping the tradition going.
You know what?
So I respect that.
You know, it'd be a great study of 132 active college football programs. How many of them do you think have some sort of ongoing lawsuit? It's probably a good amount.
It's probably a good amount. Yeah.
I got nothing on. I got nothing on the
Yeah.
Kyle Whittingham's brother getting sued by Utah. I got nothing.
Okay. Sorry.
No, I mean, I'm not
other stuff.
mad.
James Harden has agreed to a 3-year, $97 million deal to remain with the Cavaliers. This comes right after they made the trade to acquire Peyton Watson, so it seemed like they were just waiting to give out this deal to Harden after that. So James Harden in the Big 2-6 is still going to be making over 30 M's per year.
See, this is something I do have. I got this notification yesterday, and I decided that I think James Harden is the GOAT at negotiating contracts and inking the most money possible every step of the way. He's got the fourth most made money in NBA history now, only behind KD, Steph, and Bron. And it feels like he's never really signed the Supermax or has only done it once. It's just like
he always does these 2+1s or 1+1s with an opt-out.
Correct. And then
it's the open market like every time.
Every single time it has went his way. There has not been one singular time where it has not worked out for James Harden. He opts out and then he just gets another 2 years added to it for way more money. Then he opts out and he does it and he just keeps doing this cycle. I think he's the GOAT at getting the extension that he wants and getting teams to give him bad contracts for themselves.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like he's been given bad contracts like from the team in his past.
$30 million is a lot for James Harden in 2026.
I agree it is, but I just think like in the past, I don't think he's been given bad. Like I think that's a reasonable price for Harden. Obviously, he's not a great playoff performer.
Last one was $39 and $40 million from the Clippers.
Yeah,
they gave him that one.
I don't think that's a bad contract, especially because it's short term. All of his deals are short term.
The one before that was 2 years, 35. The one before that was 2 years, 68.
It's always these 2 years, man.
And then you'd have to go all the way back to his Rockets days where he got a 4-year, 171.
Remember when he did the thing in Asia? I can't remember if he was. I think he was in Japan, where he just like was doing a kids camp over
the Daryl
in
Morey
Asia,
thing?
and that was just like Daryl Morey is the worst person.
He's
on
Daryl
planet
Morey
Earth.
is a liar.
Yeah, in front of like a bunch of kids. Okay, all right.
They don't know who that is, dude.
All right, good for you though. You know, yeah, that was pretty awesome. A couple more things in the news, football-wise. Aaron Donald to continue workouts with Rams as decision looms. Can we just get this decision made? He's going to come back. Why else would he be continuing to work out with them?
I figured out why this is a constant update, though. Anytime a team brings in somebody that, like, if a team has somebody use their facility in any way to work out, even if there's zero, like if Frank Ragnow came back and just got a lift in, that has to be reported on the waiver transaction, or on the wire, not on the waiver, but it has to be like put on the NFL's wire so other teams can monitor it. That's why it always gets picked up. So anytime he's in there for a workout, it gets picked up and goes crazy. But he is going to
All
sign.
right. Yeah, I mean, I assume he is. I just don't know why he hasn't yet, but I'm kind of scared for when he actually does. We had a joint practice between the Patriots and Eagles go on this week. And first off, Saquon Barkley said, I hate joint practices.
Yeah, that kind of seems like the consensus.
Most
in
people
the
don't really like
2-6.
him. Yeah, he does not like them. But at that joint practice, A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts spoke to each other for the first time since A.J. Brown was traded. They asked A.J. Brown about the conversation or whatever, and he said, yeah, it was the first time that they had spoke since he had been traded away, which I think that's kind of weird, right? I mean, like, they can win a Super Bowl together, quarterback, wide receiver, like, but there was always something weird there. Just feels like they would have at least had a text before then, but they did not, apparently.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts was too far into his monologue that he had to give on some topic nobody cares about. Is he the number one preacher? Not like in terms of gospel, but just like he gets up onto the podium and thinks he's a poet.
Yeah,
he thinks he's Homer.
Obviously it's him. Jaylen Brown kind of is like that.
Yeah.
But Jalen Hurts certainly is the most like that. And now they're both in Philly, which is pretty funny.
What's this guy talking about?
Baseball news. Jacob deGrom becomes the second fastest pitcher ever to 2,000 strikeouts yesterday, just behind Randy Johnson. He passed Clayton Kershaw, former Loon Clayton Kershaw. So shout out to Jacob deGrom. Diamondbacks are moving Ketel Marte after this funny story that we've covered the last couple of days of him not showing up. They're moving him to the 10-day injured list after his strange absence. They're still, like, the team president was asked about it, and he was like, yeah, like, I don't know. No one really knew what was going on here. Very weird story, the way that this has just been handled, and the answers that the manager and other players and now the team president are all talking about this. He's injured, it sounds like. So I don't know why it wasn't known that he wasn't going to be with the team, even though they put him in the lineup that day. And the Mariners are calling up baseball's top pitching prospect, Cade Anderson, the star pitcher from LSU from their championship team a couple of years ago, is trying to stop the Mariners from losing 22-0 because they gave up a ton of runs. So he's going to try to help them do that.
Nice.
In that game that Ben said was the game of the day yesterday, the Wings stopped the red-hot Fever. Dallas wins, but Fever's Kelsey Mitchell sets the WNBA record for consecutive games with 20 points. 21 straight, 20 pieces for Kelsey Mitchell is a new record in the W.
It's like the Shea record.
It is like the Shea record. Yes, that's true. I've got one more thing in the news. Actually, Laken Tomlinson, do you see he got brought in for a workout?
I did see that. Former first-round pick by the Lions.
Yeah, that's classic former first-round pick.
Anytime you have to, like, say former first-round pick, usually it means their career was a total failure.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, more on this, the college thing, by the way. It's getting even messier. Essentially, a lot of these
play-by-play
rules...
updates?
I am giving play-by-play updates. This is really being viewed as like a worst-case scenario right now where like half of these guys are going to be eligible because of their state-level restraints that they got against the NCAA. Like on a state-by-state manner where some of them allow it. It's the national rule is that they can't, but if there's the individual state ruling against it, then they can. This is just going to be such a mess to try to follow. And it's going to be like if some teams are allowed to have fifth-year guys and some aren't, that is unbelievable. That can't happen. So we'll see what continues to go on here. I did want to throw out, it sounds like Ennis Rakestraw is a TBD for tomorrow's game for the Lions. That'd be nice to see. He left practice yesterday with an ankle injury.
They did say it was not that serious,
yep,
though.
Yep, he says it's not expected to be serious. So he's a TBD for tomorrow.
Good.
Okay, we got the BMW Championship going on right now. Round 2, essentially, of the PGA postseason play. Rory McIlroy tied for second right now at 6 under with J.J. Spawn. Michael Thorbjornsen, who won the Rocket Classic in Detroit, he is the leader right now at 7 under.
Amazing. I always forget golf is still on until you let me know, and I'm always thankful that you do. That it?
That's all I got.
There you go. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on 100.9 The Mitt. Link Technology. I'll be honest, I don't really know anything about technology. That's why I trust Link Technology in Midland. They handle all the complicated stuff like IT support, cybersecurity, cloud solutions, networking, so you don't have to stress about it. Whatever your business needs, their team knows exactly what to do. They make it easy on you to understand along the way. That's Link Technology, the experts who keep your business running smooth so you can focus on what you do best.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix. By Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, we've got a few traditions to close out each and every show. I got to tell you, I got to get one more thing in before we do that, though. But I got to tell, like, this one is about as genuine as it can possibly be. You got to head to Pete's Baker, downtown Midland, for lunch today. It's our Friday, one of our Friday traditions, isn't it, Kyle? We got traditions to close every show. You know what we do every Friday after show? We walk down to Pete's Baker, get some steps in, grab a za. It's the perfect amount to fill you up for lunch, but not enough to be like, oh my God, I can't do anything the rest of the day because I just downed a whole pizza. No, it's the perfect personal-sized pizza. It's got that wood fire taste, just can't get anywhere else. Sourdough, so it's not going to slow you down the rest of the day. Like I said, I always go with the banana-roni, pepperonis, banana peppers. Maybe I ask for that hot honey finish, but I already had some honey in my tea this morning, so maybe not today. We'll see how I'm feeling once we get there. Pizza Baker, downtown Midland. Best pizza in town. Kyle and I are going. Guess who's not? Sarah. Sarah's not coming with us. After she asked us to go to lunch, she said, where are you guys going for lunch? Oh, Pizza Baker. And she was like, actually, I don't want to go to lunch anywhere. Why not? I don't know. Calling her out. Feeling ambitious here on a Friday. Don't really know why. Anyway, that's Pete's Baker, downtown Midland. 3 traditions to close out every show. The first of which is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
I'm going with the Tigers' money line. It's kind of a must-win game, must-win series, so I think they get out to a strong start. The Tigers are 11-3 with Metland on the mound this year, and they're only a -108 money line. What's up with that? Why are they so low today against Kansas City?
Probably because the Tigers have won 1 game in their last 6.
Oh.
And they're on the road.
Yikes.
That'd probably be why.
I trust Metland, though. You?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I just don't know if I trust the Tigers.
Hopefully their offense can return. You know, hopefully another off day for Dingler. He can find who he was for the first 90% of this year again, because I can't keep watching him watch pitches go by and fly out and strike out. It's been pretty tough to watch. So hopefully he figures it out. Hopefully we get a Riley Green update at some point this week. It'd be sweet if he came.
Need him back for
at
next
some point.
week. 100%.
Need him back desperately.
Must sweep for the Tigers starts today, so I'm with you. I'll tail this.
Okay, there you go. Tigers money line. 8:10 start? 8 o'clock? 8:10? One of those two. That's when first pitch is. That's our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, our next tradition to close things out is our game of the day.
Game of the day.
You know, I'm such a liar. I made the game of the day yesterday, the Fever and the Wings, and I just didn't watch a lick of it. I watched the Raiders preseason game instead. That should have been the lock of the day. I honestly didn't even know that there was preseason football on yesterday, but I guess I should have assumed that there was simply because it was a Thursday.
Yep, it was in the news.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't connect the dots at the end of the show. So, as of today, there's more preseason on. Let's see. We've got the Jets and the Steelers.
Wait, so how come Aaron Rodgers just gets his 2 teams he played for before the Steelers in the preseason, week 1 and 2? Are they just catering to him?
I don't know. This one's at home. So there's 3 preseason games today. Jets Steelers is one of them. Panthers Jaguars is another. Packers Broncos is the third. Let's check that Major League Baseball schedule.
You know, if you want, Ben, you can go to the Lions game tomorrow for like $30.
That's honestly a great deal. like that is a pretty solid deal. The only preseason game, get a good seat to watch him for $30.
You can sit lower bowl for like $50.
Yeah, that's a great. I mean, it's as close as I'm getting to a Lions game this year, I would imagine. There's some good baseball series starting this week. We've got Blue Jays and Yankees. That's not terrible. You get the Rays and the Orioles. That's not terrible. The Mets and the White Sox, battle of like notoriously terrible teams. That's not terrible. Is there a National League? Oh, Pirates Dodgers. That's intriguing.
Apple TV tonight, Angels Rangers.
That's the game of the day for baseball, nationally televised. I'm all set there, I think. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna scratch the football itch here. I'm gonna scratch the football itch and say the game of the day is. We go the Jets and the Steelers. Why not? A little Drew Aller.
Maybe
Little
Will
Cade
Howard.
Klubnik.
Yeah, a lot of young, fun
Will
guys.
Howard. Hell yeah, man. Let's do it. Game of the day. Jets at Steelers.
Game of the day.
I got 2 words for you. Steve Nash and Chris Paul. Must-see TV.
All right, let's go scoreboard watching. So yesterday, obviously, the Tigers did not have a game. Scoreboard watching. But a bunch of other teams in the wild card race did have a game. The Guardians are one of those teams. They won 5-2. Scoreboard watching. Yesterday, the Blue Jays picked up a win over the Rays. They've climbed back into the wild card race. Active team. The Mariners lost their series against the Brewers. Another loss for them puts them at 60-68. And the White Sox got shut out by the Braves, so a big-time loss for them heading into the weekend. Orioles also lost to the Yankees.
It was a bad week or bad day though for the Tigers
Overall.
wise, yeah.
Because the Texas Rangers picked up a victory against the Nationals. As of today, we're starting a bunch of new series. The Tigers will take on the Royals.
Who I'm just realizing have won 5 in a row. Maybe that's why the money line is so short. Kansas City getting hot.
Other games of note as of late in the wild card race. The Blue Jays will take on the Yankees. Blue Jays competing for a wild card spot. We've got the Orioles playing the Rays, like Kyle said, that's another Apple TV game. Orioles in the wild card race as well. We've got the Mets and White Sox taking each other on. Angels, Rangers, Guardians, Rockies, Twins, Padres. Those are all, and Mariners, Cubs. Those are all your teams feeding for a wild card spot right now. That's scoreboard watching. All right. Next tradition. Do we have another one, or is it Colin? Yeah, it's just Colin. Yeah, Colin Cowherd. Let's do it. What do we think Colin's going to open up his show with today? Yesterday, he went back to Fernando Mendoza. Of course. He played again yesterday. Could triple down. What do we think?
Yeah, it's still 68-68. Nobody has scored in forever. Been tied forever. It's episode 305 today, man. Shout out to Pitbull.
Yeah, Mr. 305.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide.
It is your turn to go
Reporting
first.
live. Okay. I'm going to go with owners. Mark Walters, this new era of owners, buying a sports team. It's as profitable and safe as a bet as you can make. All this new money coming into the sports. I'm going to go with owners.
Okay. I'm just for sure taking Mendoza again.
What's he going to say now? He stunk. He stunk it up last night.
Yeah, he's going to do, you got to be patient. You got to be patient with Mendoza. I mean, if he talked about him before he even played yesterday, he's certainly going to talk about him after he's played. So,
all right, that's a good pick. Yeah, I think that's a worthy pick. All right, can I give you one more thing to close the show?
Of course.
You know the NFL Top 100 that they do all summer long, where they release 2 people
Where are
a
they
day.
At?
So the top 10, they finished up 10 and 12 or 11 and 12 today. So we know the top 10, who the players are. We just don't know the order of them. The top 10 players in the NFL voted on upon the players. In alphabetical order, reverse alphabetical order. Surtain, Stafford, JSN, Bijan, Micah Parsons, Puka Nacua, Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs, Myles Garrett, and Josh Allen.
3 running backs. Wow. Well, we don't know that that's the 10, right? It could be a guy that has not been ranked yet that's outside of the top 100. You never know.
The NFL announced that this
Jack
is
Fox
the 10.
could be in the top 10.
That's true. People don't talk about Jack Fox.
Jake Bates could be in the top 10.
Who do we think is going to be number 1 voted on upon the players? Is it Stafford?
Yeah, I mean, it
might be Stafford.
It might be Stafford. It
Or
might
Garrett.
be JSN. No, it's going to be Garrett. It's for sure going to be Garrett, actually, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably Garrett.
Remember when they said Saquon was number 1?
And then he followed it up by being RB14 the next season in fantasy. Yeah. How far do we think Gibbs can get? I think like 5th is basically
He's going to be
ceiling.
like, him and Bijan will be together. They'll be back-to-back. I think they'll be towards the bottom of it. Probably like 7, 8, 8, 9.
You think they're both ahead of CMC, though? I would think so.
Nah.
Really?
I mean, CMC's coming off a crazy year. He has the legacy stuff. I think McCaffrey will be the highest running back.
I think there's a chance Stafford's one.
There is. I agree.
Mahomes not in the top 10 is wild. All right. Appreciate everybody listening today. We'll be back on Monday. Like and subscribe on YouTube over the weekend if you enjoy the stuff. What else? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us there. Search The Ben Bosscher Show or 100.9 The Mitt. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy the last weekend with no football because we got week 0 next week. Peace out, y'all.
The Ben Bosscher